Peter Mullinax says a storm system could slow down your Thanksgiving holiday plans if you're leaving late Monday through Wednesday.
Severe weather possible in the south, heavy rain in parts of the east, and even some measurable snow and slick conditions in parts of the interior northeast.
And he says Tuesday may be the worst day for flyers.
And the storm system's got rain from the Great Lakes, severe weather possible even in parts of the southeast. And then eventually by Tuesday afternoon in the mid-Atlantic and northeast by evening, those will be times when the most unsettled and windy conditions.
I'm Julie Walker.
The tributes pouring in for Rosalind Carter. The former First Lady died yesterday at home in Plains, Georgia. She was 96 years old. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures down 12 points, NASDAQ futures up 12. More on these stories at townhall.com.
In a world where financial landscapes can change rapidly, safeguarding your savings and retirement accounts is paramount. Direct Bullion USA is more than just the #1 rated gold bullion dealer in America. We're your trusted partner in navigating the uncertainties of hyperinflation and political upheaval around the world. And we share your Christian worldview. Call us now at 888-787-GOLD. Precious metals like gold and silver have been a safe haven investment for hundreds of years. And investors are diversifying their portfolios every month with physical gold and silver with Direct Bullion USA. Get started when you call Direct Bullion USA at 888-787-4653 and get your free gold investing starter kit today. All it takes is one call to 888-787-GOLD. Take control of your retirement and protect your future with Direct Bullion USA. Call 888-787-4653. That's 888-787-GOLD.
South Korea's military warning North Korea not to go ahead with a planned spy satellite launch.
A senior official has suggested South Korea could suspend an inter-Korean agreement to reduce tensions and resume frontline aerial surveillance in response. North Korea's first two attempts to put a spy satellite into space failed, and its promised third attempt has been delayed. Seoul officials say the delay likely was because the North's receiving Russian technology assistance, and the launch could happen in the coming days. The UN Security Council bans any satellite launches by North Korea because it views them as a disguised test of its missile technology. I'm Charles de la Desma.
NATO Chief Jens Stoltenberg says the alliance strongly supports Bosnia's territorial integrity, condemning malign foreign interference, including by Russia, in the volatile Balkan region, went through a devastating war back in the 90s. News and analysis, townhall.com. Former high school student seriously hurt in a mass shooting continues her recovery.
Kylie Osage was a senior at Michigan's Oxford High School near Detroit when a fellow student opened fire in 2021, killing 4 students and wounding 6 along with a staff member.
It was broken right clavicle, 2 broken ribs, and a spinal cord injury.
And then 14 months later, as a freshman at Michigan State, she found herself huddling in a campus bathroom as another mass shooter killed 3 students and wounded 5. She's preparing a victim impact statement to read when former fellow high school student Ethan Crumbley appears in court for a sentencing hearing next month. I'm Donna Water.
Interstate 10, the elevated Los Angeles freeway closed by an arson fire 9 days ago, has reopened ahead of schedule and in advance of this morning's commute. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
Feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Holiday Monday, everybody.
Yeah, it's not as bleak.
Yeah,
I mean,
a little cold and rainy.
Never mind the weather.
Windy, but
yeah, not as bleak as far as hey, days off. Technically, this is like your Tuesday.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. Because
tomorrow would be your Wednesday.
Kids will be off Wednesday through Friday, and I think a lot of people will be following the same schedule. Some have already started their Thanksgiving holiday week. For the rest of us, I got to get through a couple more days at the salt mine here, and then we'll do our thing.
Which I remember, I think they're going one extra day this year, but it seemed like last year they got out ridiculously. I think they had the whole week off for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they used to, and then I can't remember if last year or this year is the first year that they took that back.
But I'm glad they did.
Yeah,
because these kids need to suffer like we did. We got Thursday and Friday. That's all they ever gave us.
Really?
Yes.
We used to get Wednesday too.
No, I distinctly remember. No,
this is back east in my world.
Basically didn't care. We had haphazarded Wednesday, so it didn't really count. But we got Thursday and Friday. I distinctly remember that growing up for Thanksgiving.
Welcome to the adult world. That's how we get it.
I didn't grow up in these schools except for Roswell High, but my middle school it was Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, we always got the Wednesday off, if I remember my schooling days. But it's been a few years since then too. I may not be true every year. I don't remember, but. Nonetheless, happy Thanksgiving week, everybody. Busy weekend.
You need to go ahead and take your bird out of the freezer and start the thawing process now.
You might be a little bit behind because we pulled ours out.
Yeah.
Friday or Saturday.
Really?
And it's still.
Well, maybe draw some cold water in a sink and go that route.
Depends how big your bird is.
By the way, never hot water, lukewarm or cold if you're going to thaw something in a sink.
Now, if you got a little turkey, then you're probably all right. But if you got like a 15, 20-pound bird, you need to be putting that sucker in the water and getting it all thawed out.
Little Turkey was my nickname in high school.
Little Turkey was it LIL? Little Turkey.
Little Turkey. Spelled Turkee. Turkey.
Well, happy Thanksgiving week.
Yes.
Congratulations, Roswell Coyotes get the big win.
Shutouts on both counts.
Yeah, at the Wool Bowl
beautiful.
On Saturday. Well, actually, they were in Deming on Saturday, but and then of course Artesia got the big win at the Bulldog Bowl on Saturday, which sets up for a championship game this Saturday at the Bulldog Bowl. Artesia Bulldogs, the number 2 seed, taking on your number 1 seed, Roswell Coyotes. That game will be at 1 p.m. at the Bulldog Bowl this Saturday. We will have audio coverage on all of our sister stations, on this station, on our sister station, audio only, video, if that makes sense, on KSVPTV.com.
You get to see the scoreboard.
Yeah, and you'll have the Bulldog version at the Artesia channel and the Coyote version on the Roswell Coyote channel. Congratulations. Unfortunately, not take home blue trophies this year, but the Goddard Lady Rocket Volleyball team fell in the semifinals on Saturday, as did the Artesia Bulldogs. They fell to St. Pius on Saturday. Goddard fell to Academy. Goddard came in strong Friday. Hold on, let me get my days straight here. They came in strong early. They lost to St. Pius on, was that Thursday or Friday? My days are all bleeding together.
They lost the game on Friday night, which meant they had to play at 8 a.m. on Saturday.
Yes, and then they
won that game. And then the subsequent game at 6 p.m. or 4
they
p.m.
lost 5 games to Academy. They took the first 2 sets, and then Academy rallied for the next 3. And Artesia I think they dropped 2 sets to no to St. Pius, and then they rallied to make it a 5th, and then fell in the 5th, I believe. So, again, I was catching that through. There was like 3 games going on. We had
a power outage.
This is my battle scar from power outage.
Oh yeah, because here's the thing. In order to bring you quality radio programming that
we had fun on Saturday,
that we believe in,
yeah.
Mike had to Mike came down to our live event because we were broadcasting live at Roswell Honda.
Yeah.
Picked up a generator.
Fortunately, we had a second one there.
Right.
Yeah.
And those things are not light. Lugged that bad boy up in the elevator. Obviously,
Fortunately, we're on the second floor, so there's only one flight of steps. So I had to take that thing up.
That is a plus.
That's when you learn how out of shape you are when you do things like that.
But then here's the other thing, and there was no weather on Saturday really to speak of to be worried about.
It was kind of cloudy, but it wasn't like nasty.
But Mike literally opened the window, climbed out onto the awning.
Actually, I didn't climb out.
Okay, fine. I'm trying to.
Well, it was equally as heavy because I had to literally use to pull it and put it out there.
Right.
Because Fat Guy Mike and the generator would not fit out the window.
And that's not a window that raises up, is it? It's a window that comes in.
Yeah, it slides out, and then I had to unhook it from the little slider jobbers and then pull it out and then put it in. And then little tiny, yeah. Well, the power went out, and so that thing I recycled, but I was jostling it around when, jostling, yes.
Couldn't resist.
Pun not intended.
Do I? Well,
that looks so small.
It's ego. It's the ego cam.
You can call me Wee Mike.
I'm swollen. You got Big Flat Mike, and then you got Little Mike.
That's right.
Little Mike and the wee people.
But we got through it. Todd was a rock star. Jocelyn was a rock star on Saturday. You guys doing your thing. Kelly and Chris out in Deming and Rio Rancho, respectively, kicked butt this weekend, as did Joby and Robbie on the Artesia side. We had everybody that was involved in bringing you sports this weekend did a great job. And what you guys don't see behind the scenes, they did really some great work over the weekend.
Absolutely.
I'm super proud of all of our
unsung
folks.
heroes in the video production department. I chuckled because when you said, well, you don't see behind the scenes, what you don't see behind the scenes is Gene loves this. He's like, we made magic happen with a handful of people. This is like his drug.
Yeah, it kind of does.
He really does get off on like 16 jobs getting done with like a handful of people.
Yeah. So
efficiency really is his jam.
But they did amazing, and congratulations again to the Coyotes on making the championship game. Got it, Rockets, on another fine season of volleyball, even though it didn't probably end the way they were hoping it to end. But another fine season for them, too. And we got more. So, like I said, we got football this Saturday. But today, I need you to tune back in later today at 2:30 this afternoon here on the radio, 106.5, myself. And we'll also be doing it on KSVPTV.com.
Yep.
The Excel Energy Wool Bowl is coming up here on December the 1st.
December the 1st.
And at 2:30 this afternoon, we're going to have the committee come in, Athletic Director Joe Fortner, and I believe some of the junior NMAJACC, whatever that is, the JUCO group.
NMJCC, I believe.
Yeah, that one. There's a lot of initials. I start losing after NM. And then, or NCA, I think. NCJAA, I think.
There's an AT&T in there somewhere.
Yeah. But anyway, they're going to be here. And then at 2:30 today, we are going to announce the opponents for your 2023 Excel Energy Wool Bowl, which, so we'll have that for you live and on demand in case you can't be in front of a TV or the radio at 2:30 today. But we'll have that for you. And, of course, that game will be played on December 1st. It will be at the Wool Bowl here. They're going to have a concert, Will Bannister. I believe the kickoff will be at 6. They're going to start at 4:15 with Will Bannister concert. Richland is getting involved, and they're going to have a potential $50,000 giveaway at halftime. It's going to be kind of a big deal on Friday, December 1st, 6 p.m. at the Wool Bowl. Again, 2:30 today, we will announce your opponents for this year's Wool Bowl. It's only $5 to get into the Wool Bowl.
Nice.
And if you got a child 12 and under, they get in for free.
You're not going to find a cheaper bowl game in this here nation.
Yeah. So we'll have our big game, which will kick off at 6. Doors will open at 3 o'clock at the Wool Bowl on the 1st. And then Will Bannister will start tickling the ivories and playing the keys and singing here at about 4:15. And then kickoff will be at 6. At the Wool Bowl. But tune in 2:30 today and here on the radio and at KSVPTV.com or our Facebook channels, you will be able to see live the announcement of our 2 football teams that will be squaring off in the Wool Bowl this year. So it's going to be a fun, exciting game. And I hear tell, better not say it, but I thought I heard the helicopters coming back and they're going to be doing all that again this year too. I heard that is, but that's not.
And this is getting this is getting national broadcast attention too.
I believe, yeah. We're going to cover it here, and I'm not sure where it's going past that, but yeah, it's a bowl game.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to use our video. And they're going to take it everywhere.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be bringing you the Wool Bowl this year.
And they're going to take it everywhere. You're going to see on, like, Sports Center, courtesy KSVP TV.
Yes. And I believe, I'm not sure if it's Art and Kelly calling it, but it'll be our guys calling it and everything.
Nice.
So I'm not 100% certain it's Art and Kelly or Art and Joby, but our fine broadcast team of announcers, two of them will be at the game on December 1st, or that Friday, December 1st. So should be lots of fun, but we're going to announce that at 2:30 today. So tune in for that or log on to ksvptv.com at 2:30 and be in on the reveal there. Got a full slate for you for today. We're going to replay an interview this hour. Chavis County Manager Bill Williams joined us Friday, give us an update last commission meeting and other things happening around the county. We'll play that for you here in just a few minutes. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Bob LaRocca is going to be joining us from First Baptist Church of Roswell here, talking about some of their Bible study classes and things they've got coming up. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Elliot Rodriguez with Loan Depot. He'll pop in for his monthly visit. Elliot is the guy that helps you get the financing procured when you are looking for your dream home. So he pops in every month and gives us sage advice in that world. So he will do so once again this Monday here at 9:15, just in a couple hours here. So that and all of our normal features that include the news of the local, national variety, business updates, and all the other good stuff.
Real quick, I wanted to do it before everybody gets in the whole let's go get the kids to school rush. I did want to shout out, we don't have any names yet. We're working on getting that put together. But there were a couple of local students selected, I believe from Roswell High, maybe a couple other schools.
Yeah.
For the to perform in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh, nice!
For in the color guard.
Oh, sweet!
So we're working on kind of getting some names, but as I understand it, just a couple that were chosen.
How cool is that?
We're not totally sure, but yeah, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Well, those individuals that you get to go take lots of pictures, videos, photos, drink it in, and cool once in a lifetime experience.
As I understand it, they had to raise like $20,000 per student to go.
Wow,
it was like $10,000 for the trip, and then like another, or no, I think they collectively raised $10,000 for the trip, and then another $10,000 for the students.
Just proves how hard you have to work to get the honor to do something.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
It's like this is an honor, right? Yes, it is. But yeah, you're going to have to do all this, and this to succeed in your honor. But
remember me to Herald Square, as they say.
But that's band, isn't it? They're always, they got to raise the money to do the thing they want to do, and so if there's a way to support them, please reach out. Check out to the boosters. I'm sure both Roswell High and Goddard Band boosters will be happy to tell you how to help them out on stuff. So
what's that? You got some money you want to spend? Let's show you how. Come with us.
Well, and that's the thing too. And that's where obviously the bands do compete. Goddard and Roswell High, and they compete against each other in the competitions and things. But when it comes to supporting the band and making sure both programs are successful, they work in concert all the time, pun intended there, to make sure that both succeed and work together a lot on fundraising and things like that. So support them. That's all good stuff, and I hope we get a little more information about the Macy's, the kids that are going to be participating in the Macy's parade there. So, all right, 7:19. Let's get you up to date on the weather. Pretty mild for most of the week here.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some clouds early today and maybe a few lingering showers, but low pressure is on its way out of our area. Should get some sunshine by afternoon, and it will be a little bit gusty. Our high today in the low to mid 60s. For the overnight hours, some lingering cloud cover and down to about 40, and then we're expecting upper 50s for the high on Tuesday and sunny. Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day both look sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 49 degrees here in Roswell. Could see some light rain in some parts. Not so much where I'm sitting at the moment. Humidity is at 80% with winds out of the northwest at 13 miles per hour. Could see a little bit more rain here until about 9 o'clock this morning. Then that all should be tapering off. Skies will be mostly sunny eventually with a high of 64 degrees. Winds are going to be up and blowing out of the north, 15 to 20 miles per hour. So still going to be a little chilly out there, even with 64-degree high with that wind blowing. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low of 39 degrees. Winds will be out of the north at around 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, going to be in the upper 50s. Sunny, 57 for a high tomorrow. Winds will still be breezy out of the north, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, skies will be clear. Overnight low of 28, so dipping below freezing Tuesday night. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny, back up in the mid-60s, 64 for a high with west winds 5 to 10. So looking pretty pleasant for your Wednesday. Thanksgiving Day, sunny skies and a high of 63. For your Black Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 54. And then for the weekend, looks like it'll be chilly on Saturday, 48 for a high. So bundle up when you're heading to Artesia for the big championship game there. And then Sunday, partly cloudy and 47. So it looks like a little chilly for the weekend and relatively mild for most of the week. A little windy today and tomorrow. All right, 7:21, quick 4-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview we had with Chaves County Bill Williams, manager Bill Williams, on Friday. That interview's up after this break. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A big November run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, light yearlings, bred cows. We expect to sell 2,600 head, breaking down like this: 350, 400 weighing cows and bulls, 200, 225 pairs of bred cows, 1,900, 1,950 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 25 to 30 cow-calf pairs, mostly black, white face, and Charolais crosses, 5 to 10 years old. 52 bred cows, Guadalupe Ranch down at Crow Flat. Excellent quality black, white face Angus crossbred cows, bred to Angus bulls, 6 to 9 years old. 51 cows, Anderson Ranch, Pyote, Texas. Excellent quality black, white face Angus crossbreds. Young open cows, these cows 2 to 5 years old. 219 calves, Taylor Ranch here west of Roswell. Excellent quality 80% yellow Charolais crossbred calves. Cattle weaned 50 days, 3 rounds of shots, bunk broke, 550 pounds. 84 calves, Rye Ranch, Bingham, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus crossbred calves, Bovish Gold 7-way, medium condition, 375, 550 pounds. 34 calves, Mr. Dion Julians at Reserve, New Mexico. Excellent quality black, white face Angus cross calves. Cattle weaned 45 days, 2 rounds of shots, 550 pounds. 103 calves, Mr. Ron Glass, Tatum, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus calves. Cattle weaned 45-50 days, 2 rounds of shots, 550 pounds. 30 yearling steers, Wes and Carla Bruton, San Antonio, New Mexico. Excellent quality Charolais cross yearlings, right off of grass, 700 pounds. 45 calves, Miss Nancy McDonald, Tenney, New Mexico. Excellent quality red, white face, and white face English crossbred calves. Cattle weaned 21 days. Bovish Gold 7-way, 550 pounds. 50 calves, Mr. Jack Studdard, right here at Roswell. Excellent quality black, white face Angus crossbred calves. Shots at Brandon, 600 pounds. 66 calves, Chillicothe Ranch, Valentine, Texas. Excellent quality black, white face Brangus crosses. 1 round of shots, 375, 500 pounds, and 38 calves, Mr. Gene Winston, New Mexico. Excellent quality black, white face Angus crosses. Cattle weaned 20 days, 350, 450 pounds. Sale time this morning be 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 11:30. Be selling calves and yearlings about 1. We expect to sell 2,600 head today. Happy Thanksgiving. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Hey, Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Trustmark is one of the only roofing companies that's also a licensed commercial and residential general contractor.
Wow.
I know, who cares, right? Well, you should care. You see, a licensed roofer can install a new roof on your home, but really can't handle structural problems underneath. So if your roof needs reframing or your chimney needs a water diverting cricket, you may need to call a licensed general contractor. And coordinating 2 companies for your roofing job can get costly and messy fast. As a licensed roofer and general contractor, Trustmark can install a stunning new roof on your home and handle structural issues. This saves you time, money, hassle, and even makes it easier to file an insurance claim. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit us at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company. But come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
It's back and bigger.
It's going to be intercepted.
And even better.
And has Beeman open. And he's got it. There's a dump pass for another touchdown.
The XL Energy Wool Bowl is back Friday, December 1st in Roswell, New Mexico. New Mexico's only college football bowl game below I-40. Food trucks, kids zone, pregame concert with Will Bannister. Purchase tickets now for only $5 at woolbowl.net.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams back with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I am well.
Good.
A little cool this morning. Not freezing, but cool.
Well, it is November, so it is to be expected. I love when people complain. I'm like,
time. The leaves haven't even fallen off the trees.
Yeah, some got blown off, and so depending on what neighborhood you're in, some got blown off. Some are still fighting to hang on there. And
what's been odd is we've had fog and this moisture in the air. It's something that's pretty unusual.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with my hands yesterday. Like, it was early in the week. They're saying, it's going to be foggy till like 3 o'clock. I'm like, where are we, in England? 3 o'clock fog in New Mexico? This is starting to feel like some Ghostbuster stuff here. What's going on?
Yeah.
But it has been odd. But and to be honest, I think next week might feel a little different too for a couple days there too.
Yeah.
But it's still good turkey eating weather.
Like you said, it'll be good to go throw the pigskin around.
Exactly here. So I'm guessing, is it county been real busy and now getting ready to kind of take the holiday break here and slow down a little bit?
We've been busy, and the November meeting's not real exciting. The December meeting and January meeting, however, we have a lot of housekeeping we have to do that has to happen.
So November's like the calm before the storm kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, everything's going pretty smoothly, and we're working towards the next year. But we had the legislators come 2 weeks ago, I think, for legislative capital outlay. They came to our area and listened to the city of Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur County, and we all did our presentations and told them the projects we had that we'd be asking for money for. As a part of that, though, we had our Hubert Quintana Day, because Hubert was such a big part of the legislative capital outlay for our communities. It was an opportunity for his peers basically to come together. We're all there together.
Oh, so they were going to be here anyway. Let's kill two birds.
And so we were able to read his proclamation and give him the attention that he deserved as someone who spent his life helping us all to better our communities.
In a very appropriate time to do it, where it all kind of the planets
really
aligned.
So we had to do that. And of course, before we can do that, we have to have our ICIP. That's the stuff that's coming up early next year.
Yeah.
So we have to get all our ducks in a row there, and then do our get everything figured out, prioritized, and then we do our presentations in November usually. And
so is this kind of like where you show the legislators these are the projects we really want you to fight for us at this this next legislative session?
If you can help us in any way
when they're
with funding,
doling out the capital outlay dollars, please stress the importance of these projects to them. So
and it was a really good turnout, and it was a really good meeting because it became real clear that there's so much communication and cooperation between all of our communities and counties, and everybody's working together to support everyone else. No one's creating problems for anyone else. They're all just, hey, we're encouraged for your project as much as you're encouraged for ours.
Sure.
It's kind of a neat thing when that happens.
Well, we all benefit when
Right.
as a county when these projects get done. So we want to see them all get done. That's the point.
And of course, we always appreciate the legislators taking time out of their schedules to
Absolutely
come and do this.
Yeah, come and see what they've got. They've got a lot on their plates already, and do have to do their day jobs and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
so.
unlike the people who represent us in Washington who get paid buku bucks.
Yes.
Our local legislators do this
Yeah,
free.
yeah, exactly. Because when they're not, representing you, they're lawyers and farmers and ranchers and doing their professions.
Right. So that goes a long way. Kind of speaking about legislature and stuff, we had 2 meetings this month. We had one on November the 7th, I believe it was. It was a special meeting of the Chaves County Board of Commissioners, and the reason for that meeting was for people who were interested in putting their name in the hat to be chosen as a nominee to replace Stuart Engel in Senate seat number 27.
Yes,
So,
we talked a little bit about this last month
and we had other counties, come in and meet with us, and we met with other counties, and all 5 counties tried very, very hard to make sure that we got the word out, and we got some really, good, viable candidates to put their name in the hat. It was a difficult decision for all of the commissions, all 5. We had 4 very qualified candidates. We had, let me see if I can remember everybody's name, Travis Glenn from Tatum,
Okay.
school board member, board member on the junior college, and many other community efforts over the years. He's a very good, very qualified candidate.
Good deal.
And his name was actually put forth yesterday by Lee County.
Okay.
So that's their choice in Lee
Okay.
County.
And the idea, kind of, sort of, is trying to get all the counties to submit the same name to give the governor really not an option to put anybody they want. It's like, this is who we said, so be it. That's the name.
Well, all of our counties are unique, and even though we all are rowing the same direction, wanting the same things,
Right.
There are differences of opinion. I mean, we've got 5 commissioners in Chaves County.
Sure.
We've got 5 in Lee, 5 in Roosevelt. I think all the counties. Curry had 5. I'm not sure how many are in DeBaca. There may only be 3 commissioners in DeBaca. So you see, there's quite a few people
Sure.
who are.
But if they can come to a consensus, then it kind of
Right.
makes it sure that we really get the person we want in that
Right.
position.
And like I say, what made it difficult for them is there were 4 very good candidates, so they all had to choose.
All were worthy of the post. Yeah.
So State Representative Greg Nybert, he received nomination from 3 counties, from DeBaca, from Chaves, and from Curry County. Roosevelt County, they put forth the name of Pat Boone, not the singer. the cowboy.
Like, I don't know, could that give us that name give us a little draw, maybe?
and then Larry Marker also had his name in there.
Okay.
So,
Of course,
and
he's run
everyone
for
here
various
knows
offices
him,
and things,
and so there was a lot for them to take into account and to decide who was best in their eyes for the position.
Sure.
At our meeting, we had the persons who were interested come and introduce themselves,
Do
tell
their
us
pitch,
why
basically, yeah.
Exactly. Just give a pitch. There was no real question. Everyone had an opportunity to ask questions.
It wasn't like a press conference. It was just here's the package. Let me present you the package.
They did. They presented their paperwork ahead of time, and of course, we had to verify that all of them were viable candidates.
Sure.
You can't put me in there because I'm in the wrong district.
Sure.
For instance.
Yeah, make sure
and that would be a horrible choice.
They meet the bare minimum qualifications of the position. Yeah.
So we did that, and then they gave their pitch. And the reason we did that is, like I say, all the counties have been working together to assure that we did our due diligence to make sure we got people.
We're trying to do a united front here.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in Clovis and in Portales, the Curry County and Roosevelt County, Their meeting was last Tuesday, so that would be what's today, the 17th. So it'd be the 14th. Tuesday the 14th they had their meeting. So Curry County, they had it early in their agenda. They're just a few miles apart, fortunately. So they had the decision early in their agenda, and at their meetings, the person came and gave their talk at the meeting, and then they discussed it and voted on it right there. Of course, they had previous paperwork turned in. And,
sure.
And
the legwork that was done beforehand.
But the individual contact was done that morning, and then they voted at the same time. Then late in the morning, because both meetings start at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning, late on the agenda for Dallas.
Hit the streets and head on to the other meeting.
Exactly. So they did a real quick.
I'd love to stay, but I got to go.
And then hop in the vehicle and drive south and go to Portales. So that's how they did it in Roosevelt and Curry County. And then yesterday was Chaves County and Lee County's meeting at the same time. That's why we had our event a couple of weeks prior, so that we could digest what was said and really look into.
So when it does get fast and furious, you can do it educated instead of just flying by the seat of your pants.
And Lee County, then those same people were in Lee County yesterday, saying what they
doing
needed
their
to
pitch
say,
and
then they voted at the same time. So that's kind of how we did it, to assure that everyone got as much opportunity.
People
as
wants
they
to hear
could.
who has to say what there is. They want to get a chance to do it, and
of
there's
course,
a chance.
DeBaca, the way that their commission meeting fell, they were able to approve it last month. They did it well before.
So they got it knocked out,
they
and
got it knocked out. And the rest of us were still scrambling on how are we going to get this done.
All right, Mister, getting on. Don't be. They did well in school. We know we did. They were the ones always turning their assignments in early.
So now it's all been forwarded to the governor. The governor will have to make her choice, and then we'll see what happens after that. So, but anyway, there are 3 names that were put forward to the governor for.
And now, is the rule she has to pick one of those 3, or can she go rogue and pick her own name?
No, she has to pick one of the names that were put forward by the county.
She doesn't have that
but
choice.
She doesn't. It could be any of the names.
Gotcha.
However. It doesn't matter that one has.
But because
more.
of the vetting done, we would probably be happy with any one of those 3 names.
And like I say, I know that because I saw the resumes and met each of the people, and of course knew all the people anyway. But they're all great candidates. So,
Good.
So whoever she chooses, it's going to be
it's a win-win for Southeast New Mexico.
Right.
Good.
And we had the same thing a couple of months ago with Gay Kernan's seat. Senator Kernan resigned, and the governor. There were 2 names put forward by 3 counties, and she picked Stephen McCutcheon. Sorry. Yes. I was so close. Stephen McCutcheon, and so he's already stepped into that role. I met him at a meeting we had over in Hobbs a couple of weeks ago. So he's out,
doing the job.
Doing the job, exactly. Yeah. So it was really good to see him. He's a former Eddy County commissioner. He served a term in Eddy County as a county commissioner, and his name was put forward by Eddy County, and that's who was chosen for that seat.
And people that have lived in this area for any part of time just know that because of the way this state is and how this is how you do it to keep what little conservative voices and representation we have, because there's so little of it in the state compared to the people of which actually are conservative here that represent that this is how they slowly erode that voice of conservative in there, one little at a time. I don't care what anybody says, that redistricting and stuff like that. If it wasn't anything other than that, you're lying. But so this is why we have to be stringent on this stuff. That's why you guys went through this whole rigmarole of lining up the county's meetings and trying to get it so everybody, because if we don't and you just leave it to them, what's going to happen next, and we will not get proper representation.
We are all very fortunate to live in southeastern New Mexico.
Yeah.
All of us are pretty like-minded. We're all have the same family values. Agriculture is a big part of our lives. And, we just want our communities.
You need those voices in Santa Fe to defend it.
So,
yeah.
A couple of other things we did yesterday. We had, because we just had the election, of course. We also canvassed the election yesterday, and that
make it official.
Yeah, exactly. And there were no real surprises there. It was a small local election. We only had 17% voter turnout, however.
Which really bugs me. And
I understand it's a small election. You're not deciding national issues, but we should all get in the we should figure out how to get there every time the doors are open.
Folks, I always say this every time. These are the elections that impact your life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying a presidential election's not important, because it is very important. However, what the president's doing is not going to impact your day-to-day life as much as a city councilor or a county commissioner or someone serving at that, or school board member.
Yeah, and the bond issues.
These are
there,
these are very, very important. So. We should have more turnout, not less, than the presidential election, in my opinion.
So they canvassed the election. There were no issues.
Everything was good.
Everything was very smooth, and that worked really well. We also read a proclamation, Election Workers Day. We made yesterday Election Workers Day, and we had a good turnout of people who
We're
worked
very
the
thankful
election.
those folks. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, talking about legislators working for free. These people devote a lot of time for very little
and
return.
Especially since we started early voting and having the voting convenience centers and things like this. Not only is it increased the need for more workers, but it increases the time in which they are needed.
It's not like the old days where Tuesday's the vote, so Wednesday we're going to give you training. Tuesday we're going to put you out where
now
you
got a
belong,
month of that. You know exactly.
And these people are all very dedicated. They've got a smile on their face every day.
They're just very
really
thankful.
Good.
Please thank them, but be nice too. Like if the computer's not working or because that stuff happens at every one of these. They're temporary little offices, and you know what happens when something's temporary. It sometimes will not work because internet don't want a thing, or some software said I'm not going to work right now, and it's just be patient. I mean, we're a little late in the game for now, but for next time, please, just those folks are salt of the earth and just here wanting to make their community better, and we salute and thank each and every one of them. It's a job that they get yelled at a lot because it's just the nature of what the job is, and people don't like things. If things aren't perfect the way they like it,
you blame the person who's handing you your ballot to change things. You blame them for the person that's in office.
And quite frankly,
they have nothing to do with that. They're just trying to make sure that everybody's voice is heard.
Absolutely. And this is me saying it, so don't get all mad at Bill here. But quite frankly, not all of you, but most of you are big crybabies. Humanity as large is a big batch of crybabies. Wow. And if they don't get things perfectly done their way, they cry like babies. And so they see it all at that thing. So please put your baby mindset away in your pocket when you go vote, and thank for these people that are doing nothing but help you.
Keep in mind, 17% is not a great turnout even for a local election. So
it's
everybody
horrifying.
Come out and vote. I mean,
quite frankly, you should also be ashamed of
yourselves. We all have to get our voices heard.
Quite frankly, I'm ashamed of you. If you care that little to not come and vote on this day when you have a month to do it and do all of that stuff, quite frankly, I got no time for you. And your opinion matters zero to me. So until you vote, shut your hole and go cry baby in the corner.
Boy,
I'm that passionate about it.
I'm just so thankful that you're holding back and not letting them know what you really feel.
It's just it's ridiculous, and everyone wants to blame this and that. No, it's on you. If you didn't vote, you're an idiot. You're a straight up idiot, and I'll tell it to your face.
So we also were honored yesterday to give our certificate of appreciation to the Chaves County Fair Queen. We do that every year.
Awesome.
The Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply provides a crown and belt buckle, and so Desi came over with the crown, and she presented the crown to him. The commission, we told everyone about Aubrey Prince. I think I forgot to mention her name. That's pretty important to let you know that it's Aubrey. Aubrey's a nice young lady. She's going to do very well as the fair queen for the coming year.
Nice.
We were able to present her with a certificate. She got her crown and her belt buckle and her photo with Desiree and with the commissioners, and we're looking forward to it. We also had a young man by the name of, Bradley Pierce, I believe is his last name. I'm not sure that the last name's right. We purchased his hog at the fair, and I apologize that I'm not remembering the last name. Bradley, we thank you for bringing, he brought gifts for all the county commissioners.
Oh, how nice.
They have an ongoing thing, and they chip in and purchase the animals at the fair every year. And, young man came and shook hands with them all, told them thank you, and
love that.
And he did a great job.
That's what I love in the world, because that young man, he understands he worked hard for that animal and earned that money.
Oh my gosh, working with a show animal is
absolutely,
is
and he earned every dime of that. But the fact that he shows that appreciation, shows the humbleness to say, "Hey, thank you for supporting me and going back." That's a lost art we're losing in this world today, and it's so great to see that.
When I was a kid, I didn't want to put in the work to show animals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I raised hogs. I had about 120 feeder pigs that I took care of, but I had no desire to show them. That's too much work. and feeding your pigs a couple times a day and your cows and everything else that we had, that wasn't an easy job either. But compared to showing, I mean, you not only have to do your chores, but then you have to go out in the pen with your pig, and you have to clean your pig. You have to do this.
They got to look
that.
good doing it. They got to do all the pig stuff and then look good doing it. Yeah.
Or your lamb or whatever the case is.
Or your 800-pound steer or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's just amazing the work that the kids put in, and they learn so much. And like I say, they do that in addition to their usual chores at home. And say I was a little less concerned about showing, a little more concerned about I want to feed and go home and sit, So.
Well, maybe the showing it helps earn the money for the next. But I just love the fact that kid was raised right, and the fact that showing the appreciation and he's also learning the real value of hard work and seeing the fruits of that labor of hard work. That's why when the commissioners and when people bid so generously, you're really solidifying the lessons being taught to these young men and women that show these animals and things like that. And
they're our future, and I mean we're all in as far as supporting them.
To me, it's the foundation of Southeast New Mexico is that fair stuff. So
okay, so moving on, because I don't have a whole lot here, but I know that you and I get to talking. And kind of get off subject sometimes, just a little bit.
You get me triggered. Next thing you know, I'm calling everybody idiots. So.
So we approved the agreement between State of New Mexico Economic Development Department, Main Street, Roswell, and Chaves County.
Okay.
So several years ago, Chaves County had essentially a park on their ICIP. It's called Cultural Plaza.
Okay.
And the idea is a lot of the events that take place on the courthouse lawn could be moved to this place and kind of protect the lawn and the courthouse. It would also be available for other events, maybe a little stage. It's not designed yet, but I mean, that's kind of the idea and the concept.
Gotcha.
And along with that, because City of Roswell, when they have large events, they don't have any downtown bathrooms. That puts a lot of pressure on the local businesses. You want to be nice, but then again, you can't just
you can't let a crowd of 1,000 people in there to go use a toilet.
And so that was a big part of it. Is we wanted downtown bathrooms that could be utilized in large events like this, and so we have what we call the Cultural Plaza. It'd be right on the railroad tracks, behind the parking lot at the courthouse on Virginia Street. There's a big vacant lot there, and we thought, well, when the train goes by, if you're having an event that's pretty earth-shattering. Many ways.
Depends on your event.
We thought some large walls like they have on the interstates, to
kind of block noise
the sound.
And,
It'll never stop the sound of the train. But on three sides, maybe a tall wall by the railroad track and tapering down the sides.
It'll divert the sound to a different direction other than the venue of which people are hanging out in.
Down.
Those barriers are designed to kind of send it the other way and not
kind of bounce it a different direction.
Yeah.
And so and a set of bathrooms, of course, a good set of community bathrooms, and then a fence where it can be closed off because we don't want activities going on there, all hours of day and night. They need to be safe.
So it'd be strictly used for events, not necessarily a park for the public to
correct.
Do.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
It would be utilized.
It's an event space, not community park to hang out and play frisbee or anything.
Although it can kind of have a dual role, it just depends on what the situation is.
Sure.
But it would not be a 24-hour day park.
So it's kind of designed to be the festival location. So if you want to do like Chili Cheese Festival, things like that, it would be a better facilitated area to do that kind of stuff.
For portions of it, yeah. And maybe farmers market, portions of that would be good in there.
Gotcha.
So anyway, we're just kind of looking to the future and had been for a while for that. Well, as it turns out, Main Street Roswell and the City of Roswell had been working together on having a community park, a similar kind of thing, that would provide bathrooms and that. So the money had already been funded to the city of Roswell, and they decided about a year ago, they came to us and said, you know, would you be interested in building a park? Do you have anything? I said, well, yeah, as a matter of fact, we kind of have this thing on our books already.
Yeah.
And they said, well, here's the deal. We have a location that's, you know, in hindsight, we're thinking maybe it's not as good a location as we thought. It's not as accessible as we'd like, you know, whatever the reasons were. And they said, would you guys be willing to put forth this? Sure, if it works with the city.
So kind of pulled the resources on
Right.
this one a little bit.
And so we've met with the city, and they gave up the fiscal agent responsibility and
Let the county take over.
Let the county. However, we're all working on it. So
Sure.
it'll be City of Roswell. It'll be Main Street Roswell. It'll be Chaves County. We're all going to work together.
But is it all being kind of funneled through the counties?
Yeah, because somebody has to be the fiscal
Yeah.
agent, and because
So-
it's our property, it'll go that way. But what it is we're all working together to develop something that'll help.
All three entities have an equal voice in what's going in
exactly.
there. But the county is the basically lead agent as far as
so we're all going to work
all the paperwork
on it
goes to us
and make sure it benefits our community. You know,
Yes.
we're just coordinating and cooperating as best as we can on everything, and that's just an example of one of the things we're doing. So we approved, or the county commission approved the contract for that.
Excellent.
And they brought $2.1 million forward for that, Main Street Roswell. They
Great.
did all the legwork, got the grants and everything. Of course, now we'll have to do all the reporting as the county, as the fiscal agent.
Well,
but they brought the money into it. We'll work with them, work with the city, get
And
the
at the end of the
design
day, I think the biggest economic impact will be to the Main Street district. You know, they're those mom and pop businesses. They're the ones that are going to see the biggest benefit from this. So it kind of makes sense that Main Street's kind of
that was our
spearhead.
intent with the Cultural Plaza for downtown events.
Mhm.
That's what its role was.
Absolutely.
Main Street's role is to help downtown. The city of Roswell, of course,
Absolutely,
wants to help downtown and bring in tourism. So I mean, it's a win-win-win.
So it kind of makes sense that
situation.
they kind of have done a lot of the funding raising and all this because at the end of the day, probably the biggest impact that people see from it will be those Main Street businesses and corridors.
And we're really excited to be a part of that and to get the opportunity to help develop some stuff that'll be here for years. You know,
Absolutely.
This will be something that'll benefit.
Well,
our
and hopefully
community.
this creates new traditions, the new, Roswell traditions. We have, these various festivals and things, but maybe this adds to that or creates a new thing. Maybe this adds a whole nother facet to the UFO festival now that we have this really designated party area. You know what I mean?
It could, yeah. And it definitely, can kind of change a lot of the different things. There's a big parking lot there, so it can kind of help shape and move people around.
And it could be a spillover for other events too that maybe, that's, it's not conducive to do it in there, but there on the courthouse lawn, this can kind of carry over the spillover from that and everything else.
And we're thinking too, and of course it's not designed yet, so this is just Bill.
Yeah,
talking.
this is conceptual.
But we're thinking conceptually that it could have a little raised area maybe for a stage with some built-in lighting and of course the electricity.
people
there
can plug
that
and
you
go.
Can have a little band. That's one of the issues we have when someone wants to do a musical event at the courthouse. We turn the power off to the receptacles that are out in front of the courthouse up next to the building because we don't want whatever plugged in there and that
overheat
could create problems on many levels. So when someone's going to do an event, we make sure that we turn the power onto those plugs so they can plug in their amplifier.
Sure.
And so some of those things will be alleviated by having it there in the back and having a special area that would help them with that.
And even if they can get more, because even still, like you said, like during UFO Fest and they still have to truck in a bunch of power units and things to meet everybody's needs.
Well, and a
maybe
lot
this
of
will
events,
alleviate a little of
A
that.
lot of events have speakers, and they need kind of a dais. So, by having a little stage area, or if someone wanted to do a little play or something, they could utilize it for that.
Yeah,
It's not an amphitheater, but still an open area with covered.
But even still, I think if you
seating.
made it so that it's for small stuff, but if you needed to bring in the big stuff to make it for a more bigger thing, then it's got the ability to do that.
Right.
If that but then at the same time, if it's just a community little theater saying we're going to do a little play here, we don't need all that. We can just plug in here and run lights and sound or whatever we need to do for
I
that.
think the opportunities are pretty huge there.
Yeah.
We just have to sit down and discuss what's going to benefit everyone.
Absolutely.
the most.
I like the concept here and I can't wait to see what the three entities kind of, put their heads together and see what they come up with as far as. So I'm guessing here maybe within 6-8 months, we might start seeing some maybe designs and things?
I would think the design will happen fairly quick. I mean, they do have a basic design, but of course, you change sites, and that creates all kinds of civil engineering.
Right,
issues.
yeah, that kind of go back to the drawing
board. But they
board.
can take, here's a basic block. Now let's move it over here. Okay, this will work, that won't work, this will work. Oh, they want that, and and so we'll have to do some changes. But I think the design should go fairly quickly, and then construction, fortunately it's in a spot where it's not going to impact day-to-day operations of the courthouse, and minor inconveniences maybe from time to time, but I think the construction will go pretty quickly. And so I hope that maybe this time next year, I don't know, that may be a little too quick for government work, but maybe this time next year or year and a half, we'll be talking about the new facility that our community has. So
whatever park
great.
or whatever we call it at the end there. So I like that. I think that's a great thing, and I think it will go a lot to bringing more revenue and more opportunity for downtown here in this district here. So that's a good thing, and it's great to see that we've got not one, not two, but three entities working together to make that happen. That really helps to cement that it's going to happen when you got that much involved. So.
And our community is doing that on multiple levels. We're all working with the Reno Air Racing Association, trying to see if they would consider
which
having
we got some visits coming up here
races.
that are being very important in that.
On the 27th, and they're going to be around. I've ordered a big banner to go on top of my barn, so when they fly over, I happen to be right in the flight line there. They can read "Welcome to Roswell"
there you go.
on top of my barn, kind of a Green Acres kind of thing.
There you go. I like it.
Right at there. So, but we've got city, county, other counties, the local economic development, Chamber of Commerce. All of us are working diligently on that. Keep Chaves County Beautiful is bending over backwards trying to clean up some of the areas that they're likely to see.
Good.
So I mean, there's a
putting
lot
on our dancing shoes and our party dress.
Yeah, we're wanting to show them what we're all about.
Absolutely.
And how we're a community and how we work together towards goals. But I mean, there's multiple examples throughout our area where we are doing things together. So.
And I know people have a lot of opinions on that thing and all that, but one thing I always would say is, for even the folks that say, well, we don't have all the logistics to do that yet. But here's the thing. If we get awarded all that, it's going to happen. Sometimes when you put a deadline on people, I will argue we're in November, we think of veterans and stuff, but I always think of JFK and all that. JFK's speech, challenge us to go to the moon before the end of the decade. Everybody's crazy. This is kind of one of those deals too, a little bit. It's like, if we're not ready, then we're going to get ready.
Well, one of the neat things about the Reno Air Racing Association, which, by the way, they don't even have to change the acronym. It'll be the Roswell Air Racing Association.
Yeah.
That's a selling point.
Absolutely.
Don't have to reprint their business cards, just the address. One of the things that's really good about it is that they're kind of self-sufficient. There are opportunities for the community to benefit from it, but as far as running the race and doing all that stuff, they do it. We don't have to be experts on air racing. We don't have to know how to do that because they're going to do it. But look at the benefit to our hotels, to RVs, to stores, restaurants,
and more of that will come in.
And it's like $100 million annual tourism dollars.
Yeah,
I mean this rivals the balloon fiesta in Albuquerque,
and more dollars, which means more hotels. More as soon as they green light it.
Well, it means more opportunity. I think that's the bottom line. Opportunity for everyone.
And the
better
logistics
jobs,
stuff. And it's going to force that airport to get more amenities and more things. It's a win for everybody,
right?
Because at the end of the day, we get to enjoy the fruits of the upgrades that have to be made, which really aren't that much. Could be. Land is the biggest thing we've got that really is our selling point. We've got the airspace and we've got the land for them to really set up shop out there and create it their own way. And so, obviously, as the visit comes, we'll get more on that stuff. But this is a potential for the naysayers of this. I'd say, yeah, but you're going to be the one that's going to naysay everything because it's not this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that
I'm triggering you again. You're fixing to go off.
I know.
I can see it in your eyes.
This is an opportunity to make our community better. Why do we do everything we can to make that happen?
Well, and like I say, we are working on multiple fronts as a community. And like I say, there's so much coordination with different entities and all Commissioner Bilberry and I are going to speak in Albuquerque at.
Respondents said Mr. Biden was too old to be president, and it's a bipartisan concern. More than half of the president's own supporters think he's too old for the office. The White House insists Mr. Biden is physically and mentally fit, but some prominent Democrats and supporters have openly questioned whether the president should be seeking a second term because of his age. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Former President Trump wins the endorsement of Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who says we need a president who's going to secure the border. Appearing with the governor during a weekend visit to a border town, Mr. Trump said the Biden administration has been a disaster, and not just on the border.
Usually there'll be an administration that there's something positive happens, something good happens, there's nothing good happened. The economy is no good, the inflation is the worst ever. We were energy independent just 3 years ago. We were soon going to be energy dominant.
But no more, says Mr. Trump, who's asking Americans if they're better off today than they were during his tenure. 31 premature babies among hundreds of patients evacuated from the largest hospital in Gaza. The Israelis offering what they say is more evidence that the Al-Shifa hospital was used as a terrorist base. Meanwhile, fighting has broken out at another Gaza hospital, this one located in the north of the territory. Defense Secretary Austin paying an unannounced visit to Kiev. He arrived earlier today in what's expected to be a high-profile drive to keep money and weapons flowing to Ukraine. Watching Wall Street, stocks higher. The Dow is up 63 points, the Nasdaq ahead 83, and the S&P better by 12 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A rights group reports online abuse of politically active Afghan women has surged.
Afghan Witness reports the abuse significantly increased after the Taliban took over the country in August 2021, tripling in the last half of 2022 compared to the same period the previous year. The group's investigators analysed over 78,000 posts written in the local languages of Dari and Pashto that were directed at almost 100 accounts of politically active Afghan women. Interviews indicated the spread of abusive posts online helped make the women targets. The interviewees reported receiving messages with pornographic material as well as threats of sexual violence and death. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
China's top diplomat welcoming 4 Arab foreign ministers and the Indonesian foreign minister to Beijing, saying his country will work with the Arab and Islamic world to try to end the war in Gaza ASAP. News and analysis, townhall.com. More Americans are chowing down on seafood from a can, a trend due at least in part to pandemic-inspired culinary trends.
Canned mackerel, sardines, and squid gaining in popularity when Americans were stuck at home. Since then, the U.S. market has expanded, fueled by social media influencers touting the benefits of the high-powered protein food in brightly colored metal containers. U.S. canned seafood industry dollar sales growing from $2.3 billion in 2018 to more than $2.7 billion so far this year. Jason Walker reporting.
A federal appeals court hearing arguments today on whether to reinstate a gag order against former President Trump, an order that Mr. Trump's attorneys say is an unconstitutional assault on their client's free speech rights. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving week to everyone out there.
Can you smell it? Can you just already smell it in the air?
I'm already got turkey on the brain. I'm not going to lie.
We actually had our unofficial official Thanksgiving on Friday. And I got to tell you, first of all, thanks to Misty and Will and everybody for hosting that. I get people claustrophobic. If I'm in a crowd of people and I can't find just a space for myself, I go into panic mode.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time outside on Friday because there was a lot of people in that house. Oh, yeah. It was family. It was friends. It was.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I too, sometimes I'm like, there's too much going on in here. I need some elbow room.
And I love messing with her on this one. Misty's a grandma now.
Congratulations.
Her stepdaughter, Jess, has had a baby, Evelyn, or Evie. She's now 5 months old, I think.
So first Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that together.
So it was basically the whole thing of pass the baby around all night.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
So was turkey the official food of the evening?
We had turkey and ham.
Nice.
The turkey was smoked.
Nice.
And wow, I'm never having turkey any other way. That's the way to go.
Smoked is delicious. A good fried turkey.
A good fried turkey, that's the next thing on my list I want to try. But
it's a party.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
If done right. That's the key. You overcook that bad boy, it's chicken jerky.
Oh yeah,
turkey jerky.
And I was looking at it too. It was in my head. I was picturing because it was perfect. It was juicy. But in my head, I had the turkey from Christmas Vacation. Exactly. Yeah, but no, everything worked out great, and got my canned cranberry sauce fix also.
That reminds me, I have not seen Christmas Vacation yet for this season, and I need to do that.
I'm so happy because in previous years I've had to search for what service has this or where can I rent this.
It's like all of them now,
and I have it on DVD, but I haven't had a thing that played DVDs for a long time.
Right.
I now own a PS3 and a PS4. I'm pretty sure they both do, but. Yeah.
My backwards technology will allow me to step into the modern time.
Stoked I'm going to pay for it this year.
We're at the time of year where your Christmas Vacation's probably playing on a channel somewhere.
Yeah, but who wants to watch it on TV with commercial breaks?
That's the way I do it, is because I stumble across. I never have a desire. I'm going to watch Christmas Vacation now. It's me stumbling around on the channels. I'm like, Christmas Vacation's on. Let's stop.
Yeah, no, it's destination viewing for me every single year. If I watch nothing else, I have to watch at least Christmas Vacation, and now Elf has been added into that.
Like last night, because I didn't care about Sunday Night Football or anything. It was kind of light TV viewing. I really didn't want to watch a Christmas movie or some game show, which was pretty much was on regular TV.
Right.
So I ended up watching the most recent Ghostbusters movie on TNT from 6 till 9 o'clock.
With Finn Wolfhard and all that?
Yeah, that one. The one with
Paul Rudd?
Yeah, the Paul Rudd one, which I've only really seen once in its entirety prior to last night again. And then I watched and I was like, I forget this is a really good movie. Although after watching the movie, I'm still they kind of left it with an ending. But at the same time, like if you want to drudge out Ghostbusters again, you totally could.
Well, there's a new one coming out.
Is there?
And it's already pretty much done. I think they after the strike they came back.
I'm glad to hear that.
Had to finish like 2 scenes. But
now is it with
Bill Murray?
Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd.
I don't know if Aykroyd's going to be in this, but I know Bill Murray is coming back for sure.
It's kind of the end of it. They kind of make it sound like they're getting back together, and it's like, let me take care. Because Winston's there with the ambulance, like, I'm going to take care of you and all that. Spoiler alert in case you haven't seen that movie.
I'm not sure on Aykroyd, but I do know that there's a scene of Paul Rudd standing kind of like side by side with Bill Murray. There's just a screenshot of them with the.
And that Afterlife movie, Aykroyd was big time in producing, and I mean, he was also in it, but I think he had a hand in writing it along with
Zemeckis.
Yeah,
Reitman.
Well, Ivan Reitman produced it. His son directed it.
His son is the one who directed it.
But it was written by 2 or 3 people, and I think Aykroyd's one of them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'll tell you this: the one I'm actually more intrigued about, and this one comes out pretty soon. The new Trolls movie.
Yeah?
I think it might actually already be out. Has the entirety of NSYNC.
See, these are things I could care less about.
Oh my God, dude.
I do not care about NSYNC. I do not care about Trolls.
I
don't know what Trolls are other than I've seen the toys.
I'll tell you this. If you can find a kid's movie, if you have kids and you can find a kid's movie, TV show, whatever, that is tolerable for adults, that's like, I could sit here and they'll enjoy it because it's colorful and, funny.
Yeah.
But I can enjoy it because there's jokes that obviously aren't meant for them that I can, get. Not like dirty or anything, but,
right.
like obviously these jokes are referencing things that I would know.
More of an adult brain would get it than a child brain.
And the fact that the entirety of NSYNC has come together for this movie, and they put out like a new. They might even be going on a tour again. I'm not sure.
Well, see, and here's this: as a fan, I don't know if "fan's" the right word. As someone who watches The Masked Singer every week, my wife's way more into it than I am. I just it's fine. I'll play my football while the game's on in the background, and I'll catch it all on. But anyway, this past Wednesday, see, they do a whole synergy / hawking for whatever thing they're trying to hawk. Some call it synergy. I call it marketing.
It's marketing.
Yeah.
It's brand integration.
Yes. So this past Wednesday's episode of The Masked Singer was promoting the Trolls movie.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, when they give the clues for the Masked Singers, the Trolls come out to give the clue and all. And they do it. They've done it. Like, each show is usually themed. Like, there was an 80s night. There was a one-hit wonders night. And this last one was Trolls night. They had a Harry Potter night a couple months ago, or so, whenever. And so they always theme them this way. And the last one was Trolls. And to be honest, I was like, is the Trolls movies and stuff known for its music? Why is it? What are they going to be doing?
Yeah.
So, and to be honest, no, they just do regular songs.
Yeah, but this is
but
where
then the Trolls come out.
This is where you don't lack that knowledge.
I do.
The Trolls movie is all about music. The first one not so much, but the second one is literally called World Tour. And like the baddie or whatever in the movie is like a rock girl, like a rocker chick.
Well, they should have done it after the movie.
There's a whole
then.
thing with like each like land of the. And see, now I feel like I'm fangirling.
Yeah, I have no idea what any of this is.
Each land of the Trolls universe is a different genre of music. So, like, you got your rap area, your rock area, your country spot, and each one of them were like living in their own harmony, and then
good lesson to
it all
teach.
got brought together.
Yeah, good lesson to teach.
Queen Poppy brought them all together.
That good separate but equal lesson we keep teaching everybody nowadays, huh?
That's right.
Sorry, did I get political?
Real deep life lessons. Yeah.
Did I get political? I did a little bit.
But it's a fun watch, and I'm probably not going to go to the theaters. If I do, I'm definitely going to have to take the kids with me. But I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Good, good. Yeah, I could care less. Could absolutely. My day will not be impacted.
Oh, you know what? No,
one way or another way.
Now, in
Trolls
fairness,
is good or not good, or
I'm not as big of a fan of Trolls as Mikey is of New Kids on the Block. I'm not throwing hundreds of my own dollars to go see them in Albuquerque, so I'm not quite the fangirl status that Mike is.
Let me correct that. I'm a fan of my wife.
DJ Jazzy Jeff. You're right. No, completely.
I'm a Paul Abdul guy. No.
I'm Abdul Mark. You knew that. That's like the second thing I ever said to you.
No.
Hi, Mike Winters, Paula Abdul-Amar.
No, that concert is I'm a married man, and these are the things married men do sometimes.
I know.
To make their wives happy.
But you know, I got a big bed and I can roll all over it. And I'm just saying, I can toss and turn, but nobody.
I put it this way: my life is way better that I had with her in it. That I'm willing to sacrifice for a god awful concert every once in a while.
So would you say that you've got the right stuff, baby?
Telling you. You know what I'm going to do? I've already figured it out. Don't tell my wife. I'm going to mark out to Paula Abdul so much that she's like, I'm never taking you to one of these again.
Nice. What you need to do is start. You've got time. Start now. Start learning the back catalog of New Kids so that you can blow her away when you are line by line singing the songs with them.
I think I need to not only know the songs, but the dance moves. Like when they do the, I need to know the proper
You got to work on that falsetto for the please don't go, girl. Although I wonder if they could still hit that note.
I don't know.
I'd be curious.
I bet Donnie has a lot of people coaching him. I bet he could. By the way, I love my wife very much. Not enough to learn all of the New Kids catalog.
Come on, Mike. You can hang tough.
I'm just going to be out there singing Marky Mark songs. It is 8:16. Bob LaRocca is going to join us from First Baptist Church here in just a few minutes, talk about their Bible study classes and things they've got going on there. So that's coming up in just a few. We'll also get you up to date with the weather this hour. We'll try to work that Cowboys report in, local news, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do anything else, let's bye your way into the weather. I know that's a different band, but I'm doing it anyway.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some clouds early today and maybe a few lingering showers, but low pressure is on its way out of our area. Should get some sunshine by afternoon, and it will be a little bit gusty. Our high today in the low to mid 60s. For the overnight hours, some lingering cloud cover and down to about 40, and then we're expecting upper 50s for the high on Tuesday and sunny. Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day both look sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 50 degrees and mostly cloudy here in Roswell. Humidity is at 77%. Winds are currently out of the northwest at 8 miles per hour. Pretty mild today once all this clouds and stuff burn off. We're expecting mostly sunny skies. Mid-60s for a high today, 64. The kicker, winds are going to be blowing a little bit out of the north, 15 to 20 miles per hour today. So even with 64, that wind's going to probably feel a little blustery out there. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 39 degrees, so we are dropping below or near freezing tonight, so still going to be cold. Winds out of the north at around 15 miles per hour. Sunny on Tuesday, 57 tomorrow for a high. Winds out of the north, 10 to 20, so still going to be breezy Tuesday night. We are going to drop below freezing Tuesday night. Clear skies, 28 for an overnight low. Winds out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. Then Wednesday, we warm back up into the mid-60s. Sunny and 64. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For your Thanksgiving Day, we're looking at sunny skies, highs right around 63. For your Black Friday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies back down into the mid-50s, 54 on Friday. And then cooler for the weekend, sunny and 48 for Saturday. Partly cloudy, 47 on Sunday. So if you're going out to play off football in Artesia Saturday, might want to bundle up. Might be a little chilly out there at the. Plus, we need to get is, wear your big red coat so we can fill up that visitor side in Artesia with a sea of red over there. There'll certainly be plenty of orange. Let's counterbalance that with some red on Saturday. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 3.5-minute commercial break. Then Bob LaRocca will join us with First Baptist Church of Roswell here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company. But come see us soon, because winter's coming,
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agar told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455. Something big is coming to Roswell Nissan. Invoice pricing. You heard that right. Invoice pricing on all new Nissan vehicles on the lot. And that means your dream ride is within reach. So whether you're eyeing the sleek sophistication of a Sentra, the adventurous spirit of a Rogue, or the powerful roar of a Titan, they've got it all, and it's waiting for you at Roswell Nissan at Invoice Pricing. Brace yourself for the best pricing and the best savings of the entire year during Roswell Nissan's all-week-long Black Friday sale. Now through Saturday at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from First Baptist Church of Roswell. It's been a while, but Bob LaRocca is back with us this morning. Morning, Bob. How you doing?
Good morning, Mike.
Good
Wonderful.
to see you.
Good to see
How's
you.
How's everybody in your world, your family? Everybody doing good?
Everything's going well. And again, I have to compliment you on your wonderful laugh.
Well, thank you. Most people get annoyed by it, but
well, do me a favor. Tell me where you got it off the internet, and I'll subscribe. I need a little more laughter. Yeah.
Well, I've always been a laughing guy. Yeah. I laugh at things. Sometimes I laugh to combat awkwardness. So it's kind of in my nature, and but I'm sorry for the people that get annoyed by it, but it's my personality. Sorry.
Wonderful thing. Good for you.
But for folks it's been a while on, but Bob always comes in, and you've had some great experiences and things you've shared with us on the radio over the past year, and at this time we'd like to invite families and people to come and see what you got going over at First Baptist Church here, and the world we live in nowadays. And I'm not, people live their lives the way you want to live their lives, but the way I see this world going and how things are going, I'm thinking better relationships with God are probably smart things to be thinking about right now.
Yes. Yeah. It's interesting. Jesus said, the poor you will have with you always.
Mm-hmm.
What do?
Yeah.
What do we do in the meantime until things change?
Absolutely.
For the poor, for the homeless.
Absolutely. We're all God's people. And, I get it. We live in this world, and what's right and what's wrong sometimes feels muddy sometimes. And when you're always helping others and always doing good, you're never doing the wrong thing. It may be perceived differently, but in the eyes of God and in your soul, you're doing the right thing, and that's all right.
At First Baptist, we have a ministry, one of many ministries. It is a homeless clothing ministry called Jehovah Jireh, actually Jireh Ministry, which is one of God's Old Testament names. And Jireh means the Lord will provide.
My knowledge of some of the Old Testament and some of the nomenclature is very not my strong suit, but I understand the meanings and messages and the love behind it every time. So sometimes when the words confuse me, the sentiment does not. So.
Yeah. This ministry was started 25 years ago. Quite a few women came out of a Bible study, and after discussing needs about the city of Roswell, they decided to start this ministry, clothing ministry, and that's been going on for a good 25 years. I was blessed 4 years ago being asked to be the director, the first male director in the history of Jireh, and it's something that I take very seriously. We see ourselves as servants. Jesus never said that I came to be a volunteer. Jesus said I came to serve.
Yeah.
Not to be served, but to serve.
Absolutely.
And to give my life a ransom for many. So you might ask, and thank you for asking, Bob, what's the difference between a volunteer and a servant?
See, Bob's got both sides covered. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's funny. A volunteer, and God bless volunteers throughout the United States, but I think it ramps up a notch with the heart.
Sure.
There are many days when me and my staff, we wake up, and the last thing we want to do is come into town and be with the homeless. And
Sure.
I'm being transparent here.
Sure.
But the thing is that that Jesus said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. There's only two. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the second is as the first, that love thy neighbor as thyself.
Absolutely.
Who is my neighbor? Everybody.
Everybody. Human beings. Absolutely.
In the womb, out of the womb. And we have a wonderful staff, 4 or 5 people that come in and serve at Jireh. We provide clothing to the homeless and the families who are having a tough time meeting their clothing needs, especially this time of year.
When the weather's turning and getting colder, and we are blessed in New Mexico with some pretty nice weather for a good portion of the year. That being said, when you're out in the elements all the time, they probably tend to disagree with you on that. But this time of year, even though we don't get the Arctic temperatures at other places, as far as setting the table for hypothermia and many of those conditions, our environment is very inclusive to that type of thing. So by you serving and helping through generous donations, things like this definitely helps to allow you guys to do more service, more things for this community here.
Right.
So
it breaks our heart when what we do, Mike, is just before we open up our basement to men, women, and children for clothing, we always share the gospel.
Absolutely.
That is the life-changing message of Jesus Christ.
Well,
that God,
and I always believe God works in small ways. We're all tools. Like in my head, I may not be getting this right, but the way I kind of feel, like God God uses us for various things in this world. You know, I think I believe, you know, people end up where they end up because that's kind of where God, you know, the path he kind of wanted you to be on here a little bit. And so I always love that no matter, you know, like it'll rub off on you. Okay, the random act of kindness today might not show you the light of God, but it's a chip at taking down whatever's holding you back from that. And the more kindness, the more you do, especially when you're dealing with homeless or people that are dealing with a lot of baggage, issues, problems, things that have caused them to be where they're at. Yeah. Part of the self-defense, part of their survivability is that building walls, barriers, and things like that. So a lot of times I think you guys have to kind of chip away at that a little bit before you can really start at the healing process. And so not every day is going to be the light bulb moment, but every day pushes it one step closer to that for people, I think. And that's, right. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. You know, I think you almost have to undo the work that humans have done to try to protect themselves or you know, to before sometimes you can see God's vision here. And the random kindness, helping people for no other reason other than it's in your heart to do it, is how you slowly erode that kind of mentality away. And so doing that is important, I think.
Right. What we strive for at Jireh is not perfection.
Yeah. Well, if we're perfect, then we're God, right?
Correct. There is only one person that walked the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And I'm not him.
Yeah.
That was perfect, Jesus Christ. And the thing is everything that we do ultimately gives glory to God.
Mm-hmm.
We, on Tuesdays at the Moore Building, which is only one of two buildings that's on the campus at First Baptist, from Tuesdays from 1 to 3 in the basement of the Moore Building.
Okay.
On the corner of West 5th and Kentucky.
Okay.
We, again, share the gospel. We tell people that we love you. Mm-hmm. We're here to take care of help you with your need physically, clothing,
mm-hmm.
but spiritually.
We want to welcome to the family.
Just as important.
Absolutely.
That a loving God knew you were going to be born.
Mm-hmm.
Bible says that the Holy Spirit said to Jeremiah, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you.
Mm-hmm.
These are not people that were randomly chosen out of evolution or slime or
mm-hmm.
A clump of cells. These are people that were formed in their mother's womb, mm-hmm. and God knew them before they were formed.
Absolutely.
And we receive clothing, just to let people at Roswell know that we receive clothing by either dropping them off during that day, Tuesdays.
The actual donations from people.
3,
okay.
At the Moore Building.
Okay.
There will be servants there to help you with those donations.
And don't forget everybody. You guys probably serve young children to elderly, to males, females. So all of the above clothing is needed for kids, for adults. Obviously, good serviceable clothing. Not, I appreciate you give hand-me-downs, but if there's more holes in that shirt than there was meant to be, then maybe it's time to retire that bad boy. But everything else, please bring it.
And when a person looks at a piece of clothing, it might be an idea to ask themselves, would I want to wear this?
Absolutely. Yeah. Give what you'd be willing to wear yourself sometimes. Right. And also think about the season here, the colder months here. So, sweaters, socks and underwear are something that they can never have enough of. So if you pick up, and those we like to buy new. Buy those new coats and shirts are one thing, but socks and underwear, undergarments, that kind of thing for males and females. Please, let's get new on that.
Yeah. The other way you can donate is stopping by 500 North Pennsylvania, which is the physical address of Roswell First Baptist. You can even call, and I am so sorry. I have left the phone number.
I wonder if I have it on, because I was just at First Baptist. Tell you what. How about this number? 1-575-623-2640.
Yes.
Is that the number for the church?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's on their Facebook page, too. If you're driving around, just type in First Baptist Church of Roswell, and it'll come right up. And then you can see contact information if you want to talk to the church more about this or really any of the Elevate program or many of the other great programs that are going on at the church as well, too. Not just this one here for our homeless, but all of the great programs.
Yeah. Mike, through the years, I've understood that I need to be specific when we ask for things. And you mentioned quite a few of them. And the clothing right now that we would be appreciative, and the homeless would be appreciative, would be warm hats, beanies, gloves, jackets, thermal underwear, socks, backpacks, sleeping bags, and boots. That's what we're looking for this time of year. It's interesting, Mike. You know my story, and there was a point in my life where I would drive down city streets, and I'd look at the homeless, and this is how self-righteous I was. I would look at the homeless, and I would snub my nose at them. I'd wag my head and say, "Boy, what a bum."
Sure.
And I would
You're
say,
judging.
I was judging.
Yeah.
And what I was doing was I was bringing up a biblical passage where the Pharisees said, "Thank you, Lord, that I'm not like them."
Yeah, there's that.
So what happened to me? One moment, I'm that way. Next moment, November 7th, 1982, I repented of all my sin.
That was the day the light bulb hit for you.
Light bulb turned on.
God's light came to you.
I repented of every sin.
And that's what...
And I said, "Jesus, the Bible says that you're the same yesterday, today, and forever. Will you deliver me from drugs and alcohol?" And he did.
Well, and that's the story, and I don't want to, get into your whole story here with everything else, but I do want people to understand that you've had it as hard as any human being on this earth. And it's very easy to go down and spiral when you've lived and experienced some of the things you have lived and experienced in this life. The difference is God found you. And God, whether he beat you up the head 20 times before the message rang true or, whatever, but still that your life could have easily gone the other way had you let that stuff overcome and overtake your soul. And I'm going to guess you got close, but something happened, and God does what God does. And this is that great magical part that when we think of God and the magic side and all that, it's like, because we don't understand it or explain, because we don't have the capacity in our brains to know what God knows.
Yeah.
And so when that moment happens to you, and to be honest, I think because of what you went through, it makes your connection to God that much closer. And I think the people you're trying to help are homeless. These folks that have been handed similar circumstances as you, or worse, or different, but equally bad. They too can find what you find if they just, again, reaching the hand out and helping. Some will come kicking and screaming. Some are hit their bottom and hit that point where they said, I throw up my hands and I'm ready to give.
Yeah.
We all hit that, but programs like this, things that the church is doing, are all to kind of pick away at the wall, to pick away at the negative, all the things that the world has thrown at these people, the devil, however you want to see it there. We're all just getting back to bringing them back to where they should be as human beings. And even if we're not trying to convert them into, these robots for God. I mean, that's, that God doesn't want that either. God gave us free will for a reason and things like that. But at the same time, showing them God's love. And that's you don't know how many problems this world can solve if people just accept God's love a little bit. And not always God's love is coming in the form of a hug. That's the thing that we don't understand, and we're going to spend as human beings our lifetimes trying to understand that. Yeah. And we may never get there till we get to heaven and God sits down and says, "Let's have a conversation." I don't know, but this is life. This is when and the harder life gets, the more you need to stick to your principles and God's teachings and things like that, because it's going to get harder. It's going to get worse, and more people are going to be in need. And if you let your own psyche fall into that hole, you can end up just like it very easily. And that's why we want to, only because it's good to help people, but it's also good for your own soul. When you find that your life stinks and life's handing you a bunch of lemons and you turn to service and you turn to helping others, suddenly, your life starts getting better and you have a greater appreciation of the world around you and then you truly see the blessings you have. Sometimes it's hard to see the blessings you have when life's handing you a bunch of lemons here. But sometimes
that's where we step in.
Yeah, sometimes someone else's pain and you come in and help and serve shows you what it's like. What my world is. Look what this person did, and look where they're at, and look what we did for them. My world's not so bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. It really is, and I think if you are having a hole in your own heart, serve. Come out. Come start with donating a coat or two. Then come out and hang out. Maybe you can help distribute or help organize or help plan events and things like this. If you're looking for your own answers in life, may I say come down and work and serve. Yeah. You might just end up finding your passion or finding your place in the world here.
Right. May I say this and again, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Anytime, Bob. People that are trying to do good things for good people, this is what this show's about. And what you guys are doing at the church, what you're doing, this is the kind of stuff we need more of, not less of. Okay. And so let's get on every rooftop and scream the praises of this, because this is how we fix the world, not the other way.
When Jesus spoke, wasn't just a good man, a prophet. Yeah. The very words, very, very God in the flesh, the incarnation, very God. And this is what Jesus said. Matthew 25, verses 31 through 40. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And he will set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right hand, "Come you, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? Or when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?" And the king will answer and say to them, "Assuredly, I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these, my brethren, you did it to me."
Mm-hmm. We're all connected, and that statement really kind of says that. And we're all, and it proves to the message that we're saying. We're all human. We're all one of God's people. We're all one. We're all brothers and sisters. We're all, we all have the same Father, and we all need to do our parts. And life is going to hand you turmoil and stuff. God gives us the tools to get through this stuff if you listen. And that's why if you're dealing with problems, if you want to help, if you're seeing the homeless and you're seeing things and you're like, this is frustrating, get involved. if not through just First Baptist, find many of our other homeless and other organizations that do great work here.
Harvest
Ministries, the Many Hands organization's another one that's been doing a lot of great work on the homeless. And I'm leaving others out, I know, and I don't mean to. It's just there are many. This is how we fix our community. It's not complaining on Facebook. It's not yelling at the wind at anybody that's willing to hear you. It's rolling up your sleeves and helping and start little. Start by grabbing a couple cans of food and giving it to someone. Start with grabbing a coat and donating it. It starts there. And then when you see the need or see the kind of the results of your love, and that's the other part, is the people you're serving and helping, you're helping to bring them back into God's fold too. And they too are off the path. They're hitting where they don't have a lot of faith in life and hope and things right now. And guess what? God's using you as the tool to put that back in them. That's what they're doing. So your random act of kindness to them, when they see that and enough people see that, it chips away. It says, why are these people helping me? Why? What do I do to deserve that? It's because you're God's child. That's why. Right. And that's what it's all about. And when you understand that, everything kind of starts falling into place. Like okay. You know what I mean? It really is. It does. I know it's hard for me to explain that to you until you lived it, but trust me, if you serve and give and keep working, you will find that your own problems and things will start to work itself out too.
Right.
So please use it. Use this to better your own self as much as you are to help others. Right. That's going to be the side effect here. You're doing this to provide others help and comfort and God's love, and it's going to put a big fat mirror and shine it right back on you. That's what's going to happen. Right. It's just that's how humanity works, and God and life. It's all part of the plan.
Mike, if I can say this, the world turmoil. Pastor Mark Green, director of Harvest Ministry, has said to us many times, guys, the world's not falling apart. Things are falling into place.
Yep.
This is all a plan A from God, by God. And if I can say this, and thank you for letting me speak with you, to those out there, Jesus said, for I will never, never leave you nor forsake you. And he meant that through the good, the bad, and especially the ugly times.
Absolutely.
He'll never leave you nor forsake you. Keep looking up.
It is easy to be a follower of God when everything's perfect. The test really comes when everything isn't perfect, and that's
bingo.
And that's where the real proof of God's work comes in. Is not when everything's good; it's when things are bad, and we've got to find a way to resolve it. That's where God's true work shows up. So keep your faith, keep praying. If you are finding yourself struggling to kind of keep that up, please reach out to your churches. Reach out, whoever your home church is, please talk to them. If you don't have one, there's many churches. First Baptist would love to invite you to come and see what we're all about. But please find a home, find God's home, and I guarantee at some point it's gonna start making sense to you. It may not be overnight, but over time it will make sense. And there's going to be that one day where it all clicks, and it'll probably be some moment with your family or some quiet moment. Maybe it's during the holidays here. I hope it is. And that this is what God's talking about. Here it is right here in front of me. And it's going to be a wonderful moment. So please serve. Now let me ask, like you said, there's drop-off days and things like that, but if someone wants to get more involved here, is it just best to call the church and say, hey, I would love to, I heard Bob on the radio this morning, I want to get more involved here with this program and help the homeless, and what else can I do?
Yes, that'd be great. Our offices are basically open Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
9 in the morning till noon.
Okay.
The staff has lunch, and then we reopen from 1 to 4 in the afternoon.
Good deal.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay. Do they have Wednesday and Sunday services too?
There are no Wednesday services there. There are
Sunday service.
studies, but
not services in terms of a official, we're putting on the robes, but Bible study and getting closer to God, and maybe not actually like Sunday church, but Bible study and fellowship.
There's a ministry called Grief Share, where on Wednesday night there's a wonderful woman that meets with other women and men and women that have gone through some very, very tough things. And
I love those groups.
So
when
those
people
sort of
deal with
groups.
loss, that's those things that we all deal with loss at some point in our life. It's, death and taxes. They're inevitable. We all deal with those things.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be in a room that kind of share your values and what you how you see the world, and them experiencing the grief and loss together. That's we all experience. It's we all do. It's just, but it's part of the life, the cycle of life, and how things happen. And the good news is that as a believer in God, we know that's not the end game here, and so we need to remind each other that sometimes. Yeah. So it's really cool.
And just to leave this, there are three things that God instituted: the family, government, and then the church.
Mm-hmm.
And the church was never set up to take the place of the government.
Yep.
What churches all over Roswell, Chavez County, New Mexico, United States, the world, the church is supposed to be doing those things that the Lord would want us to do.
Absolutely.
We should never have dumped it on the government.
The government, they got to play by a different set of rules than church does, and that's why and you're right. I'm always, not that the government helping people is a good thing. I'm never going to say that's a bad thing, but you're right. It is the role of we the people and the churches and our communities to be God's tool for that kind of stuff, and that's. You're so right on that. And so that's what I mean. If you want to see problems get better in our community, if you're tired of seeing homeless, if you're, the crime rate, all the things we are plagued with in this community, getting involved with your church, getting involved with organizations, being a beacon of light by just doing the simple acts of kindness, bringing food, bringing clothing, going to donate some money to help for a shoe drive or a coat drive or something like that. If we all did a little thing like that, one thing, don't even have to pick a bunch. If all Americans we'll just stick with Roswell, picked one of those things and got behind, how better our community would be. And that's what God's talking about. It's many hands to do all that. We all do our little piece in the cog, our random acts of kindness and love, and we all do that. How amazing would this place be? That's all it is. And we all don't have to pick the world up on our shoulders and carry it ourselves. We just got to pick up a rock. You pick up a rock, I'll pick up a rock, we'll all pick up a rock, and then the earth moves.
Let's become part of the solution.
Absolutely. So come out. Again, if you have any questions, you can always call 575-623-2640. You can, if you look for First Baptist Church of Roswell on Facebook, you can shoot a message there, or certainly learn more about not just this organization, but all the other things that are going on at the church as well too. And then, of course, if you go to fbcroswell.org, that is the website you can go to and learn more about First Baptist Church here in Roswell too. And 'tis the season. And this is good any time of the year. I know we think a little bit more about it during the holidays and during colder weathers, but there is never a bad time to help others, and if we get your foot in the door during this time of year, and this turns into something you do year round, then we call that a victory. Again, all of us don't have to carry the mountain. We all just carry a pebble or two, and next thing you know, the mountain moves. That's what happens.
You're so right. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Bob. And, you do the same. You and your family
Christmas.
Have an amazing holiday weekend here, and maybe we can get you back in before the Christmas holidays to remind people and get them to keep doing good.
That'd be wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, Mike.
Thank you, Bob. Don't eat too much. Actually, Bob's going seafood this time, so don't eat too much seafood for your
I'll see it and I'll eat it.
Well, you used to be a crab guy, so I'm going to guess as a crab fisherman. So is crab your one seed as far as food?
Yes.
You know what? You and me, I'm from Maryland. I grew up eating crabs, and I live on the crabs, and so I am one of those people that look at crabs. You know, most of the world looks at crabs and like, what? Who? I ain't that hungry. And to me, going, give me yours. I'll take them. I love the crabs. Yeah. But thank you, Bob. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you do here in our community, and God bless you and your family. And we look forward to talk about bigger, greater, and more awesome things here in the future. So,
thanks, Mike. God is good.
Absolutely. Take care, Bob. It is 8:54. Let us pause. God provides, but you guys buy commercials and pay for lunch. So I'm going to play those while I to provide my lunch. We'll be back. Don't go away.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Lou Dobbs. A short week on Wall Street. NVIDIA earnings Tuesday. More retail results on the way. The November rally continues on Wall Street. All three major indexes finishing higher last week. The Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ riding a 3-week win streak. A short week of trading this week. The market closed Thursday for the Thanksgiving holiday. Friday's session abbreviated. The closing bell set for 1 p.m. NVIDIA headlines the week's tech earnings. The AI chip leader continues to grow as Wall Street's forecasting another upbeat quarter. Third quarter revenue expected to come in just under $16 billion, more than twice last year's third quarter total. NVIDIA stock up more than 240% so far this year. Retail earnings continue. Dick's Sporting Goods overall earnings expected down from the previous year, while Citigroup layoffs expected today, part of the bank's reorganization. Citigroup employs about 240,000 workers worldwide. Cost-cutting efforts have helped the stock. Citigroup up 12% over the past 30 days. Please join me twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
1 in every 5 businesses gets hacked. Why? Security requires identifying how many computers your business has. You probably don't know, and your cybersecurity team likely doesn't know either. Most companies underestimate their vulnerability points by 15% or more. Payment processors, printers, and other network devices. Arison's Cyber Z Suite pinpoints and secures these devices and ensures total system coverage. Call Arison 908-878-7717. 908-878-7717. Arison 908-878-7717.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this. No sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
A comedian once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at lagronefuneralchapels.com.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters. Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. With the holiday getaway now underway and 55 million Americans expected to travel at least 50 miles from home over the Thanksgiving holiday, there is concern that rain and snow could make it a slow go for some travelers.
National Weather Service meteorologist Peter Mullinax says much of the eastern half of the U.S. will see rain and then by midweek even snow, making driving difficult. And if you're flying...
One of the more notable impacts for Tuesday, especially maybe for air travel, will be winds. It will be pretty gusty. Up and down, basically from the Virginia Tidewater on north up into the interior northeast. And by Wednesday morning, we've got snow that's really starting to take shape across much of northern New England, again staying rain along the I-95 corridor.
For those late travelers,
it should dry out by the time towards the second half of Wednesday.
Of course, the day before Thanksgiving can be pretty busy. I'm Julie Walker.
Israel's military describes it as a very grave incident of global consequence. Backed by Iran, Yemen's Houthi rebels have seized an Israeli-linked cargo ship in the Red Sea. The tributes are legion for a former First Lady who died yesterday afternoon at the age of 96.
News of Rosalind Carter's death on Sunday afternoon came just 2 days after she entered hospice care at home in Plains, Georgia. A statement from the Carter Center says the former First Lady died peacefully with family by her side. Mrs. Carter is being remembered as being a champion of mental health. She was diagnosed with dementia nearly 6 months ago. Jimmy and Rosalind Carter were married for 77 years, the longest married presidential couple in American history. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Traffic flowing again on Interstate 10 in Los Angeles, reopened ahead of schedule following an arson fire 9 days ago. The hunt for the arsonist goes on. On Wall Street, the Dow's up 106 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Surging sugar prices up 55% in just 2 months are putting a big crimp in bread production in Nigeria. Cause for concern because bread is a staple food for Nigeria's 210 million people.
Sugar worldwide is trading at the highest prices since 2011, mainly due to lower global supplies. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization is predicting a 2% decline in global sugar production in the 2023-24 season compared with the previous year. Sugar is just the latest hit for developing nations already coping with shortages in key staples. All of it contributes to food insecurity because of the combined effects of the naturally occurring climate phenomenon El Nino, the war in Ukraine, and weaker currencies. Wealthier Western nations can absorb the higher costs, but poorer nations are struggling. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
News and analysis at townhall.com. Sometimes international diplomacy can be downright painful. Here's a case in point.
Austrian President Alexander Van der Bellen has had a rather unusual encounter during an official visit to Moldova when that country's first dog bit him on the hand. Van der Bellen was meeting with Moldovan President Maia Sandu to discuss Moldova's bid to join the European Union. His hand has been bandaged, but he says he's doing fine and certainly does not blame the dog at all. Jason Walker reporting.
Faded and cracked, a felt hat that was worn by Napoleon has been sold for $2.1 million at a Paris auction of the French emperor's belongings. The hat was initially valued at $650,000, but the bidding quickly escalated following that initial estimate. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. So they go guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Weird how it always ends up at 6 minutes, huh? Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy. It's Monday. Yes, I get you. But it's different Monday. It's a holiday Monday. Holiday week Monday, short week for many people.
Yep.
Some have already started the holiday. Good on you. But for the rest of us, we're going to be at the salt mine a few more days here.
Think of today as like your Wednesday.
Exactly.
Tomorrow's your Thursday. Wednesday's your Friday. And then Thanksgiving.
I'm pretty sure there ain't going to be a lick of education being taught in schools on Wednesday.
You're absolutely right. No, it's all just parties and relaxation.
It's
and whatnot.
just like we're meeting the time to say we had a school day, and then everyone's going to leave at 12:30 or 1 or whenever the half day's over. And,
maybe it's
or
because,
that's Tuesday because they're off Wednesday. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
they're off on
tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Tomorrow will be that day.
Maybe it's because I am not connected to any of like the cartoons or the entertainment on TV, or maybe it's just because everything's been so like segregated and separated now.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I was a kid, the Thanksgiving specials that came on TV, like the Garfield and Friends Thanksgiving special, obviously the Charlie Brown, it's Thanksgiving Charlie Brown was a big one, but those were such a big deal, and you just never see them anymore. Like I can't think of the last time I saw a Thanksgiving special for like a primetime Thanksgiving special for like a cartoon.
Well, because we've completely overlooked Thanksgiving in terms of the holidays. It's all turned into Christmas marketing.
Right.
And like even now, this weekend, there wasn't the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special, or it was Christmas movies. I saw Fred Claus on there 20 times, Christmas Vacation, and it's those comedy. It's not even like the old school Miracle on 31st Street, or even I did see Wizard of Oz float around on a couple channels.
I think
over the
that
weekend,
Network is going to break out It's a Wonderful Life, but they don't usually do that until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, and this last night. Let me remember here, because like I said, I was watching Ghostbusters, but I seem to remember, like, I think one of them was like a game show. One was showing a Disney movie, which is probably ABC. And then they're showing the Sunday Night Football on the other channel. You know, it was really not holiday programming,
right?
With the exception of, and Disney was, or ABC was, I wouldn't even call, I don't know, it was a cartoon that they were showing. We're going to debut some cartoon I never heard of for the first time.
Here's a fun fact for you. Do you know why It's a Wonderful Life has become such a standard like Christmas tradition? Do you know why?
I guess not. No.
Is because it was free. So when the movie came out, it actually bombed. It was actually a big old stinker. Like nobody wanted to see it.
There wasn't any property rights to the movie.
Nobody had any rights to it, and so when broadcast networks, I'm pretty sure it was NBC originally. When NBC was like trying to find filler stuff for their late programming, they had access to this movie for free, and so they ran it ad nauseum at the holidays, and it basically convinced the silent / gray generation that this was a Christmas staple and tradition, and they just carried that on with their families.
Even though it is a little bit of a depressing movie.
Oh, it's insanely depressing.
Yeah, I was trying to put a glass half full on it.
The literal turnaround line is, "My mouth's bleeding, Bert." That's the literal turnaround of the movie. Yeah. Sorry, spoiler alert.
You haven't seen it.
He comes back, his mouth bleeds, he sees Zuzu's pedals, and he runs home to be with his family. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
But I'm not going to lie. Thanksgiving, the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special, for me growing up, that was something we watched every year during Thanksgiving. And I'm sure it's on there somewhere on one of the 37 million channels.
Well,
I just haven't seen it.
Thoroughly pleased when I went to Rhiannon's Thanksgiving lunch, and that was on the Prometheus board.
Oh,
they were watching Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Well,
so I got to sit back and kind of watch a classic with my daughter.
And to be honest, this is a weird one. There is another movie, to me, that is a classic Thanksgiving movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That is you're absolutely right. That's a Thanksgiving movie. And that's one that, again, gets overlooked as being a Thanksgiving.
To me, it should be shown every year at Thanksgiving.
It's a holiday classic, as they say. But yeah,
it is.
If you remember, he's trying to get home. Steve Martin's character is trying to get home for Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. That is the quintessential Thanksgiving movie.
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
And it should be shown every year at Thanksgiving, just like some of these movies are. And because it's a comedy first, I don't think people look at it that way. But I'm like, if you don't get a warming cockles of your heart message out of in a comedy, that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and it's got one of the best lines of all of comedy.
And
where's your hand between two pillows? Those aren't pillows.
Those are.
I laugh hard every time that line comes out.
That movie actually only got the R because of the scene in the rental car. And from what I understand, Steve Martin fought for that scene to stay in. They were going to pull it for the better rating.
So there's a hint of that in it, but to me it's still a happy 80s. It's the typical mindset of the 1980s too. I think so.
It's one of those I haven't seen in years, but I think about it every time I look at my shower curtain rings.
Planes, Trains, Automobiles.
Yeah,
because that's what he sold, right?
Yeah, that's what John Candy's character.
Which to me, I'm like, was there ever a big market for shower curtain rings?
Because I think they just come with shower curtains.
Like, did I ever feel a need where someone outside of going to a store to buy you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, how's your shower curtain needs, ma'am? It's like, no one ever's come to me, But then again, this comes from a time where people used to go around door to door selling you vacuum cleaners.
Yeah,
which to me, is like, why did that happen? Of all the products.
So what's crazy about that is, for a quick minute here in Roswell, when the Kirby company came in, there were people going door to door selling vacuum cleaners. And they still do.
Like, every once in a while, there is a Kirby vacuum person come knocking on doors from time to time.
My brother-in-law was one of those. He never sold a single one.
My wife got suckered into buying one about 10, 15 years ago. And I remember to this day, why are we doing this? Why? And I wasn't home, but again, it was New Kids on the Block all over again. I was not down with this. But for peace in the house, I shut up.
You got Jazzy Jeff into
it. But yeah, I remember. And it was funny because my wife had a Dyson. She was talking, I'll never get rid of my Dyson. And then the Kirby guy shows up, and I was working Artesia at the time, and I remember saying, she's like, we're not buying anything. He just wants to practice his demo. I said, that's the line they tell you.
Exactly.
That's a gimmick. I said, don't let him in the door. It was too late.
That's an icebreaker.
So I got home and we bought a Kirby by the time I got home and everything.
That way, if he messes up, well, it's his first time.
Yeah.
If not,
I was like, that's the quintessential line that they use to get in the door. I'm new to this and I'm practicing.
But you gotta love it. You gotta love the hustle.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Absolutely. And matter of fact, I can't remember the whole thing, but now there was something on TV, and it was like this whole warm, heartfelt thing. I said, Kim, this is a giant marketing ruse, and I explained it all out to her because, our job and what we do and how things synergy and all that. And what's something that was legit, they're trying to spell like it was some heartwarming home for the family kind of garbage. I'm like, this is all marketing garbage. They don't care.
It's
and once I laid the plan out in front of her, she was like, oh.
In fairness,
that's exactly what's going on.
You are wearing the perfect hat for a door-to-door salesman from the 60s.
I do have
Hi,
it.
sir. Have you got a second too? Let me sit you down and talk to you about the Kirby vacuum cleaner system.
Or if you need your chimney swept, I think I can help you out there.
Hi there, Gov. Somebody needs a caddy for like a 40s golf game.
Yeah. Can't it just be a balding 50-year-old fat man that just wants to cover his balding fatness? That's all it is.
Excuse me, boy. Have you a newspaper? What's today's date? Why, sir, it's 1913. I did it.
I'm 50 and don't want to wear a baseball cap everywhere I go.
I totally understand.
I want to wear like adult hats. Like, to be honest, I kind of wish the world of the fedoras and stuff was still a thing, because I think I could be that guy.
Well, I do, but also I have beard hair on my neck, so at the same time, fedora is real, like,
Yeah, you got to look a little
milady.
You got to look a little more kempt.
You have to really like lean into the look.
I'd have to shave more often, which is why I have such a nasty neck beard, because I'm too lazy to shave.
It's not thoroughly neck beard. It's mostly I provide myself a nice,
And to be honest, and this is where point I wanted to grow it out, but now it's grown out. I'm kind of like, I don't like this. I need to go back to what I was, but because to me this seems a little.
See,
disheveled.
I think that brings the hat together, though.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just a lot more work.
Sure.
Than the other one. Like yesterday, I was in here and I was like, "Oh, these loose hairs are driving me nuts." And you're trying, but you clip them, and 7 more loose ones show up. And you're just like, I give up.
Yep. Looking disheveled is a lot more work than people give credit for.
It does. I'm very envious of those guys in the 90s that literally had bedhead, and they, you know what I mean?
It's a thing again.
I know, but they could literally roll out of bed, and women are like, "Oh, he's dreamy." I'm like, he looks like a man who hasn't bathed in a month. Anyway.
Yeah, same. Agreed. It's like that's the whole thing is dudes are just like, they have like, it looks like a stray cat on your head.
Yeah.
That's the look now.
Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't want to be in the brush and comb business in the 90s because no one was using them.
We're really starting to sound like old man yell at cloud.
Bring back the pit rock.
You kids, cut your hair. Get a job, you bums.
Yeah, bums. Yeah.
I'm in my 30s still. Come on.
Oh, yeah. The older well, society is the way it is. They're getting a little crazier or younger.
I just promised myself I would never be that guy. And it's just slowly but surely you're seeing it. You're like,
we are all that guy.
I am now the guy that points at things and said, that used to be a Tasty Freeze.
You know what? I hope I live long enough. Like our 20-somethings now, I can't wait till they're in their 40s.
Oh, until they go through what we are going through?
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what they got to say.
100%. Yeah, and what are the kids of the next generation going to say that are going to appall this generation, the ones that came up with no cap?
Oh, I can't wait. They're all going to be crotchety like, you millennials are a bunch of cantankerous old crotchety people.
Yeah, it's going to become okay, millennial.
And I will laugh.
And that's the thing. Again, Generation X gets the pass for some reason.
And I'm going to sit here and laugh with my pudding. And my soft foods while jamming out to Metallica at the old folks' home going,
get off my lawn, Inner Sandman.
That's right. I'll be eating my pudding and listening to Master of Puppets while you all are sitting.
Master of pooping and pooping myself.
I need more fiber.
Golden years.
Ellie Rodriguez with Lone Depot is going to join us here in just a bit to talk housing. He's going to pop in for his monthly visit here in just a few. That way we can stop. We were talking about can't wait for millennials to get old, and so I'd segue from that to you. So it is 9:18. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some clouds early today and maybe a few lingering showers, but low pressure is on its way out of our area. Should get some sunshine by afternoon, and it will be a little bit gusty. Our high today in the low to mid 60s. For the overnight hours, some lingering cloud cover and down to about 40, and then we're expecting upper 50s for the high on Tuesday and sunny. Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day both look sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 55 degrees here in Roswell. Still, well, it says mostly cloudy, but it's mostly sunny where I'm at. Humidity is at 64%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 13 miles per hour. Sunny for today, if you haven't already noticed. Winds will be a little breezy, but warm, 64 for a high today. Winds will be blowing out of the north, though, 15 to 20 miles per hour. So it's going to feel a little chillier than it is. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low of 39 degrees. Winds will be out of the north at around 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, a little cooler, still breezy. Sunny, 57 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tomorrow night. We are dipping below freezing Tuesday night, 28 for an overnight low there. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your Wednesday, your Thanksgiving Eve, we're warming back up to the mid-60s. Sunny and 64, west winds 5 to 10. For your Thanksgiving Day on Thursday, sunny skies, 63 for a high there, and then things cool down a little bit for Black Friday and the weekend. Mostly sunny and 54 for your Black Friday. Saturday, partly cloudy and 48, partly cloudy and 47 on Sunday. So if you're going to the Bulldog Bowl for the big championship game on Saturday, you might want to bring a sweater or a windbreaker. They have those around here. Those are good. Windbreaker for the windy, cool day. All right, it is 9:20. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then on the other side, Elliot Rodriguez with Lone Depot will join us. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
When you can't be home, make your space feel more like home with Candlewood Suites, Roswell, New Mexico, featuring extended stay rooms, complete with kitchenettes in a quiet area, plus plenty of great amenities, including free hot coffee 24/7, and the Candlewood Cupboard 24-hour convenience store, plus the Candlewood Gym and free laundry facilities. Cool off in the outdoor pool, complete with hot tub, and enjoy the outdoor gazebo and grills. And the Candlewood Lending Locker for stuff you couldn't pack, like crock pots, board games, and more. Call 575-623-4300 to find out more. Candlewood Suites, where everyone here is sweet on you. Your home away from home.
It's back and bigger.
It's going to be intercepted.
And even better.
And has Beeman open. And he caught it. There's a dump pass for another touchdown.
The XL Energy Wool Bowl is back Friday, December 1st in Roswell, New Mexico. New Mexico's only college football bowl game below I-40. Food trucks, kids zone, pregame concert with Will Bannister. Purchase tickets now for only $5 at woolbowl.net.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio for his monthly visit, Elliot Rodriguez with Loan Depot back with us. Morning, Elliot.
Good morning. Good morning, Roswell.
All ready for Thanksgiving?
You know what? The first time I can say kind of yes.
Good deal.
For the first
well,
time.
It's here it comes. Well, I mean, it's the week of, so if you're ready or not, here it comes.
Well, we're not cooking, so that's why I'm saying
that's good.
yes.
But you're traveling, right?
I'm traveling.
Yeah,
now.
usually if you're not cooking, then you're traveling. So, and to be honest, I don't envy you guys either. The travelers.
and I wasn't looking for it, but it's an old army buddy. Okay. It's like we're brother. I mean, I'm more brother to him than my own brother.
And you know what? People in the military know exactly what you're talking about because we all have a friend or two from the military days that are just like that. Yeah.
So I'm traveling to see him, and he's like, you have to come up, because I left Colorado Springs in 2010.
Okay.
And I had not even gone to visit.
So you due for a visit.
I'm due for a visit. And he even came down here. He came to the little Roswell to visit. It's like, okay.
Time to return the favor.
Time to return.
It'll be nice to get out of town.
Yeah, and I was stationed in Fort Carson.
Okay.
So it's
kind of stomping around.
Yeah, I want to see how everything is over there. And
sure, see how different it is after the years of absence.
A lot of people are like, you're going to travel because it's going to be colder over there.
Well, at least you're doing the road trip. I mean, if I had to get on a plane this week, I don't know if I'd want to do that.
I don't. It's going to be crazy.
I know people do, and God bless you and good luck to you.
Mm-hmm.
But, traveling post-COVID during the holidays in an airplane has been nightmare every year since, and I anticipate more of the same this
weekend. You still see the videos. People still acting crazy.
And we're going to see it for this weekend, too. I guarantee Thursday morning you're going to see everyone stuck at airports and all that, TSAs,
something go viral. Somebody went stupid in the plane or whatever.
They don't have enough traffic controllers to wrangle in all the planes, or flights getting canceled because air crew's not available. It's all going to happen again this next couple days, and I'm praying for all of you that have to go through that.
Yeah,
these next
it hasn't changed. If anything, it might be worse.
But my butt is staying right home watching it on TV.
No, I hear you. We were debating so bad about if we're going to go or not.
Yeah.
Because I'm always working.
Yeah.
So I don't take a break.
Sure, yeah.
It's
well, you need to carve that time out.
Yeah, it's time to decompress a little,
and that's life, If you don't carve out time, sometimes people take all of your time. So you've got to sometimes protect your time.
I hear you.
I feel like this is one of those times where you probably need to tell some people no and do what you got to do. But that being said, if you're not familiar, Elliot is not your real estate agent. He's not going to be the guy that walks around with you and helps you find your perfect home.
Mm-hmm.
He is the guy you see before you talk to your real estate agent and letting the real estate agent work with you to find your perfect home. You talk with Elliot first to find out exactly how much you can spend on said perfect home, and he's and by visiting him first and talking to him first, he's gonna save you the heartbreak when you shoot for the moon and turn out you wanted caviar, but it could only afford hot dogs. Life. That's a lesson we all learn at some point.
That's very true. It's like you're shooting to the moon, but you can't even leave orbit of Earth.
And so he gives you that realistic saying, hey, this is what, when you're out shopping for your house, this is the ballpark you should be looking for. And he can work with it. And plus, and this is where Elliot, I think, separates himself from other people that do his career too. Elliot is all about, he loves working with first-timers. He loves working with people that don't have necessarily the experience of doing this. Now, if you're an experienced buyer and seller and have bought 100 homes and sold 100 homes, Elliot can handle your business too. But he really loves working with families and things where it's their first time home buying, or they kind of are in a situation financially where initially they couldn't, but working with the family and listening to Elliot, and 6 months, a year later, they're in their first home together, something that they couldn't even fathom 6 months ago. And that's where I think Elliot really likes. I think that's where he gets his kicks out of this business, is finding those people that didn't think the home dream was theirs, and he able to not only give it to them, but give it in a way that they can succeed and thrive from that position.
Yeah, that's truly the. I mean, we talked about this all the time. I really truly feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, I love returning business.
Sure.
Okay, and
well, that's the idea. He wants you to, you buy your first home, and then at 5-10 years, when the family gets bigger or whatever happens next in life, you're ready to upgrade or move over or downgrade or whatever's that next phase in your life is. Elliot wants to be the person you turn to when it's time to shift your priorities again and do the next thing for your family when it comes to your home and that kind of stuff. So that's the secret. Buying a home can be very intimidating. It's arguably going to be the most expensive thing most Americans, most people on the planet do in their lives is pay for a home. That's the thing that, when it comes to writing that 6-figure plus check or whatever it is, for not everybody, but you know what I mean? That's the biggest purchase you make. And so there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. And that's why a guy like Elliot in your corner helps you avoid doing the faux pas and doing the things that, and unfortunately, when it comes to the loan process, the slightest little wrinkle can upset the whole apple cart if you're not.
Very true.
If you're not on top of that kind of stuff, and that's why you need a guy like Elliot to say, because your day-to-day life will screw it up if you're not paying attention. When you're in the process of buying a home and in the loan process, and then all of a sudden the car goes on the blink or the phone goes on the blink, unless you're ready to pay cash outright for it, it's going to put a wrinkle in your, that's why they always tell you, don't buy furniture, don't buy new cars, don't buy things when you're in a loan process because it changes all that. Sometimes life doesn't allow you to do that. Like it happened to my boss. He was in a whole thing like that. And then his phone provider said, we're not going to be providing service in your community anymore. You're going to have to switch to someone else. It was back when Verizon was coming into the area and all that. And he had to switch from his previous carrier to Verizon. And that caused a whole stir up with his loan application.
It could be something simple.
Yeah.
I mean, folks,
and it's like, look, I had to do this anyway. It's no big deal. It doesn't change anything. I'm still paying the same amount of money. It's just to a different person now. But, and it all worked out eventually, but you know how many loopholes and ropes and documents you have to fill out to justify I bought a phone during a loan process thing? It's such a big deal. And I don't know how many times, you've probably seen a few times where people get the loan, they close on everything but doing the closing paperwork. And then they say, well, we got to spend some furniture money and get for this new house. Just drop 10 grand on furniture. And they financed it. And next thing you know, they're like, wait a minute, we can't sign off on this closing yet because now you've got an additional, what is this, a $800 a month payment for furniture. What's going on here?
Yeah, folks, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, and you folks listening, you'll be like, oh my God, what's happening and this and that, and like, well, the fact of the matter in the end of the day is, believe it or not, a 50-cent change, okay, can change the outcome of the loan that you have.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are you talking about, Elias? 50 cents? It's like...
It sounds stupid.
It sounds stupid, but it's true. I'm not kidding you. So imagine 100, 500 or whatever because you went and bought a car at the last minute before you even bought your house. Yeah. Okay? Now, the fact, is that sometimes there are individuals that are in a great position that they can do that, but still not a good thing to do to your lender.
If we were all Jeff Bezos or
I know, right?
or Elon Musk, then we can buy a car and a house at the same time. But most of us aren't those people.
Well, I got a call. I got a call last night for a customer that is doing a transaction. Okay, and we're communicating, and he mentioned to me, and his limit was 260.
Okay,
like, would you have me approve a 270? It's like, yes, after I verify everything. No, if you would remember what I talked to you about.
Sure.
But everybody tends to forget those things.
Sure.
Because they're still up there in cloud 9, if you may.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I tell him, no, let me, rerun the scenario and figure it out. I mean, I figured it out for him still. But
sure.
the problem is, at the last minute, you throw me a curve, and then I see that they got more dead. Okay, exactly from what Mike is actually talking about.
Absolutely.
So it's good, to be ready when you go and see a house. So it is truly the best thing you can do is to truly get pre-approved. And folks, pre-approved doesn't mean just do an application. It means maybe start giving the lender the items that you need so we can verify everything so you are 100% solid.
They can get this person has a job, their debt to income ratios good enough to where we can find a house for them in this price rate. And then once that's all the pre-loan stuff is saying, look, we did the initial initial scan here, and there's nothing in here that's going to be a huge red flag to. But then once you find the home and we start getting into the nuts and bolts of doing the loan app, that's where it gets the devil's in the details there.
Correct.
But yes, the pre is just giving you a ballpark. Hey, I looked at your numbers. I looked what you got coming in. I looked what you got coming out. I looked at your credit scores, and we can comfortably put you in a house for this based on that. But here's the thing, and this is where Elliot separates himself from the other. A lot of times they give you these pre-approved numbers and things. They're not taking your budget really into account. Like they say, you make this amount of money, you're spending this amount of money. This is the window here. But they say, okay, you can comfortably, well, let's just say this. Well, you can comfortably afford it, or we can approve you up to $200,000 for a house. But you, at the end of the day, still have to look at your budget and say, okay, if I have a $200,000 house with the financing, it looks like my mortgage is going to be about $1,200. I'm just making up numbers. I haven't done actual math. I'm just saying stuff. So, fine, your mortgage is $1,200. But now you got to figure out, wait a minute. Well, I got a car payment of $500 here. I've got my furniture payment of $300 here. Now I'm going to have a $1,200 payment. Am I going to be able to put other furniture in here? Am I still going to be able to buy dinner and lunch and everything else? And they don't really look at that when they're giving you those numbers. Elliot will sit down and say, okay, I can clear you for $200, but based on your bills, you probably should look for a house around $160.
Yes.
Therefore, you can.
The fact is, right away when I approve anybody, I send them an email with a list of the items that I need from them.
Right.
Okay. That's going to give me more of an accurate numbers to really, really, really see what they can really truly afford.
Sure.
Okay. And folks, any lender that doesn't do that right away and tell you that, obviously there's a problem there.
Sure.
Because you can't go blind saying, you know what, I qualify for this much without verifying anything. See, by law, I cannot say I require, this in these things.
Sure.
Because until we're not under contract, we cannot actually tell people I require this. But I do tell them, it'd be a good idea to give me, this is a list of the items that I need to verify. You find the findings that I have and to keep your approval in place.
Sure.
Okay. It's very important that you give those things to us right away instead of just waiting until after you find the house. Now, I cannot make you give it to me before.
But it certainly makes the process a lot easier.
Well, it makes total sense to get it to us right away.
You have a lot less headaches when you do the legwork up front. There isn't that. There's a lot less of we're in the middle of everything, and all of a sudden Ellie gives you a call out of the blue. Oh, wait, I'm going to need your signature on this one thing because we didn't talk about it earlier, but turns out you owe $10 to eBay or something, and we need to get that cleared up before we move with this loan thing. And so
and agents out there that are listening, real estate agents, I'm talking to you guys right now. Not because a lender have a problem with a loan means it was the lender's fault either. Okay, because I think a lot of times that gets completely missed.
Absolutely.
Because like we used to say, I'm like a dog. The water falls out of my back because I have to be. But I make some magic. So last night I had to bring my Harry Potter one, the elder one,
the big daddy,
to adjust the numbers and make sure that he was still good. The funniest thing is that a lot of people don't realize some of the stuff that the lenders have to go through.
Yeah.
Okay. And they forget that there's a lot of things in place that we don't even control.
There is a reason why you get your commissions and things like that because there's a monumental amount of X's and O's that you got to check off and make sure the I's are dotted and I'm going to guess your job, 9/10 of it is attention to detail and making sure all the boxes are checked. And that's half the battle.
I always say this to my junior, okay, and everybody that I deal with, it's chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
Because if you only wait, thinking about the next move, and that's it, sorry, this business is not for the faint of heart.
Sure.
There's a lot of curve and sucker punches that you get from things that people don't tell you.
And that's the thing too is, there are more than one ways to skin a cat here when it comes to, yes, at the end of the day, tried and true, paying your bills, that's going to be the maneuver. But if you're one of those folks that you're kind of on that bubble, it's like you're paying your bills and things, but life happens. We all get it. We stretch ourselves too thin. We've spent more than we could, or an investment we thought was going to pan out didn't pan out.
Right.
Life happens. We get all of those things. But Elliot is that guy that says, okay, we're dealing with a bankruptcy here. There's more than one ways to work around this. If we do it in this fashion and in this order of sequence of things, we will have better success than doing it this way. And that sometimes it's not what you turn in, it's the order and how in which you turn it in is the difference between, it's really because at the end of the day, you're really trying to make the computer understand the variables to do that. And so the computer's taking this data, but if you present it in a different way, the computer will find a way that says, okay, this is how it works.
Sometimes I feel like I'm Picasso trying to paint and just and put it together.
So really half the day is massaging and manipulating and working the system
it's the funniest thing.
to find the program that works for you in your individual scenario. And that's where Elliot shines, where family A walks in and he'll do it a certain way. Family B walks in and it's a completely different process.
Let me tell you something. Last week, I got it. I mean, and this is amazing. Okay. So I got an agent coming, Elliot, I have a problem. I got this borrower that the deal is falling apart, blah, blah, blah. It's going south. I mean, folks out there, south was an understatement. Okay. The deal,
south was actually north in this situation.
It's just, I don't think, some of the lenders don't do what we do, and I'm glad to say Loan Depot has the right tools and I got the right program. I mean,
tell them thank you. It makes you guys look good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes us so good. But the experience, and all the stuff that I deal throughout the past decade or so, okay, it makes a big difference because, when you look at it and you step back for a minute and you hear why the deals are going wrong or whatever, it's like, it's almost like, I don't know, it's like an art.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, I cannot teach it unless you are like with me. And
it's like an orchestra that you kind of direct it into.
Yeah, moving things.
It's a moving thing.
And folks, the fact is that I just took everything out of the box, kind of folded like in the military, kind of, so it can fit on the box.
Reorganize and package it. You find a way to fit it.
They told me this in the Army, folks, when I was in basic training. This is what we had to do.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
And it works. It really works.
I'm telling you, do you ever notice like the people that are very good at packing vehicles for road trips? 9 times out of 10, military people, no matter the branch, they're usually your experts in the family on knowing how to put things in a trunk or the back of a vehicle.
Very true.
And then one part of the family's like, that'll never fit in there. It's like, oh, watch me. It will. There's only one way it will, but it will. And I will get it in there.
A lot of people are like, why did you even talk about military stuff in financing? It's like,
because all of it's related.
It all come
the tools
together.
You gather, the things you do translate into this world.
God made me what I am for many reasons.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, folks, I was going to school to become a psychologist. I was going to be a counselor. Okay? I guess in a way I do that every day anyway.
I'm going to say that probably impacts your day. Like why you do your job the way you do it probably impacts because you started training in psychiatry and
to help people
studying humans instead of numbers.
Because a lot of times it's like, I tell people, don't worry about this, don't worry about that. I got you. If you have bad experiences or somebody ever told you that you cannot buy a house, you need to talk to me because the fact is there's so many different approaches, to how to get a loan and how to get a home that you'd be amazed. Okay?
And one way may be perfect for someone and a bad idea for somebody else.
Exactly.
It really just depends on their circumstances and what's going on.
Well, so they came on Tuesday last week, okay? On that same day, I had them pre-approved. I had to work a few, details, to make it really solid. And I still had to get a contract to me to kind of take over and everything. But at the end of the Friday, on Thursday and Wednesday, we were already disclosing, trying to get everything done and moving the process forward.
Sure.
The funniest thing is they're supposed to close on the 20th of this month. Okay. Now my magic wand didn't go that far because the fact is that I came too late into the process.
Gotcha.
But the funniest thing is this deal is going to get done. Okay. These people are going to get their home. Okay. These people's dream of having their own home is not going to be taken away from them.
Sure.
Why? Because I took a moment and I took everything out of the box, put it right back together, and find another programs and situations and scenarios that I can make it work for them. There's always a way. I believe that there's always a way. And folks, if you believe that you cannot get a home and somebody's telling you that, friends, relatives, even professionals in this business, come and see me and I'll tell you if you can or not for real. And at least I'll give you the tools to make sure that you can. All right. Because that's the other thing.
Absolutely.
That's the problem, because you and I have spoke about this. Okay. I take care of everybody. I don't care how big or small your loan is. I'm going to take care of you.
If it's a $100,000 loan or a $4 million loan,
yeah, because I'm here to take care take care of our fellow citizens in this town, and all over New Mexico to take care of them. I'm sure that they dream of owning a home, they still have it. And the problem is, I don't know if some people actually really care.
Right.
Okay, and I used to say, maybe I'm being a little too naive and this and that, but no, not really.
Well,
that is actually my strength, that I actually care about my customers.
Sure.
To go the extra mile for them.
Well, and this is my belief. This is me, and Ellie can agree or tell me I'm wrong here on this. But I think every American's game is to have your own place to live and something that's yours. And here's what I always tell people is it's a process like anything else. Your first time house you buy, unless you're, again, Jeff Bezos or Jeff Bezos' kid, is not going to be your dream home. It's going to be, and quite frankly, it might be a little dumpy for your standards. But it gets you now have a stake in the game.
Yeah,
and that's the point. Like when you're a brand new family, and put it this way, there is a time and a place to rent. You're single, or if you don't plan on living here for more than a couple months, or if it's a temporary situation, or maybe you're a single person and you're looking to date and all that, and you're just straight out of college, or then renting is a good option for you. But over time, you want to be investing back in yourself.
Correct.
And obviously with a family, and you're thinking, so that first place you got and you're like, okay, we're renting now. But here's the thing. Start shooting for that first house, even if it's not the dream house. As long as you got the parents and 1 or 2 kids here, you need a 3-bedroom house.
Correct.
Okay, or a 2-bedroom house here. Then you buy what you can, what works with your numbers. You fix it up as best you can if you need to do some of that but put it this way, now you have a foot in the game. You are now basically paying money that is eventually going back into your own pocket through buying a home. When you're renting, you're paying someone else's future. They're paying a mortgage that you're now in essence paying and giving them a little extra to do. And guess what? They're getting the equity. You're not getting the equity here. So even if you buy a house that, quite frankly, is a little beneath what you were hoping to be in a house, it's your first time.
It's the beginning.
Yeah, it's on to, because guess what? You're going to be able to afford the house that's more to your liking so much quicker now that you're paying a mortgage on a house that the money goes back to you instead of your renter. And that's the game. That's the American dream. So your first house should not be the dream home. And if it is, you hit the lottery or something lucky happens.
Well, you and I are good examples of that.
Yeah.
Okay? We started with a little home.
Absolutely.
And we went to a bigger house.
Yeah.
And we changed throughout the years. And
then life happens, you get a smaller home again because,
if you have to.
Everyone, the empty nest or whatever.
I've been there when I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
Okay? I could have kept, and I was being blessed, folks, because I actually have rentals and everything, and was still taking care of my house.
Yeah.
But I don't like to hemorrhage money, okay?
Well, that's just it. You use that time for the rental to build up a nest egg, to start putting, and it doesn't matter if you're working minimum wage or you're making 6 figures a year, you put a little bit aside and you keep doing that, and you've got a nest egg.
Guys, I got people buying homes that they actually work at McDonald's, okay? That they work at the farmers market and stuff like that. So a lot of people are saying, oh, but I don't make enough money to buy a home. Are you renting? If you're renting...
Yeah. Are you paying $800 a month mortgage?
Yes, you do. You can buy a house.
Exactly.
It's so, folks, don't listen to what is happening in the market right now.
At worst, we've got to establish a history for you.
Yes.
And Ellie can do that for you to where in 6 months they look at your rating. Now it's going up because you do have credit. Or if there's bad credit, you've erased it with good things to prove that you are a trusted person.
I'm worthy.
Well, that's just it. I had awful credit when my days in the military, but after being an adult and building it up, my credit is now 800 plus, and I'm because I've worked my butt off to get it there. But I was back in my military days. 500-600, I was that guy.
I know exactly what you mean. I've been there, done that.
I was that guy.
I got the T-shirt to prove it.
Yeah,
folks. If you want to have your own home, okay, listen to what I'm saying. Follow my lead, okay. I'll give you my word that I'll make sure you get a home.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the biggest guarantee I can give you. No lender out there can give you any guarantees. Okay, I don't even give you a guarantee when you're pre-approved. But I give you my word. You follow my lead. You do what I ask you to do. I'm not going to tell you to break the rules. If anybody out there listening and want to come and do some weird stuff, run shop.
Sure.
Okay, don't come to my shop for that. But you want to listen to me do the right thing?
Yeah.
I'll promise you, I give you my word.
And there are shortcuts to that if you're depending on your discipline and what you're willing to do.
If you do what I tell you, I'll get you your home. Sure. I'll give you that much.
And how much you're willing to invest. Like if you're willing to throw everything to do it and willing to sacrifice more, we can do it quicker.
It can happen.
But if you have a life to live and bills to pay and all that, and we can still do it in a way that you're not, completely sacrificing everything, but at the same time putting your money to work for you as opposed to it working for somebody else.
So I know we've been making jokes throughout the months about Harry Potter and this and that, but it's what we do. It's what we do. But the thing is this: if you're in a market and you want to buy a house, don't worry about how expensive it is now and how the interest rate or how high they are.
If you don't have a house, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But let me help you get you a home because you'll be better off later. If you're waiting until the market gets better, the $200,000 home is going to be worth $225,000, $250,000 later.
Yeah, the only people that should be kind of waiting right now are people that already have a house and their interest rate is like 3.9 or back when it was in the times were good.
So true.
And your mortgage is about 1/10 of what it should be if you got it a loan here today. Those people, you sit in color and watch on the sideline.
My guy did it, and I'm gonna bring my new junior law officer to the meeting one of these days. He did a video and he was talking about buying a home now versus later because the rates will be better later. He hit it right on the dot. The fact is, if you buy a home now, okay. Yes, the rates are a little higher now, but that's the whole point.
Right.
You're going to be in. If you can afford a home
and then
now,
you can refinance here in a year or two.
That's where I'm going with.
And then your mortgage goes down, and you're putting more money back towards the principal.
And you'll be better off later because you are able to buy now.
But instead of you waiting and still continuing to rent, and then now that the rates are come down a little bit, guess what also happens when rates come down? They tighten up the purse strings a little bit, too, on who they lend to and who they don't
And
lend
the prices of the home is going to come up. So, folks, if you're thinking about waiting at it, fine, I get it. It's your priority. If you want to do that, hey, it's up to you.
Absolutely.
But I'm telling you right now, if you're looking, if you got that itch, and they say, I want to have my home, okay, if you can afford a home now and I can help you get there, go for it. Because if you buy it a year from now or plus, it will be more expensive. That's just a fact.
Absolutely. If you're a family and you're paying a rent right now and you don't have a home of your own and you're planning on staying here in Roswell, then you need to talk to Elliot or a guy like Elliot and get out of your rental situation and let's start putting that money back to you. Even if you got to get the 2-bedroom $50,000 house that you spent $20,000 to fix up, you're going to get all of that back and you're going to be sitting in a better situation 5 years from now than if you continue to pay rent. I will, as long as you pay your bills on time and do all that, I promise you will be in a better situation 5 years from now than if you would just continue to pay rent.
100% agree.
Yep.
Been there, done that, have the T-shirt.
Yep. And that's how families get ahead. That's how I did it. That's how millions of Americans do it. You start small, you keep investing, you pay your bills, you build up your nest egg as you can here and there. Still enjoy life. I'm not saying sacrifice your whole life to do this. Be wise. It's okay to go out to dinner and treat yourself to dinner every once in a while. When you do it every day, that's a problem. If you can't afford that kind of thing.
No, I agree. You have to put priorities in place.
Absolutely. But folks, you do that, you're going to be in a much better situation regardless if you're making $200,000 a year or $30,000.
And we got a bunch of programs going on.
Yeah.
People can... Folks, listen out there. If you haven't listened to everything that I've been saying so far, listen to this. You can buy a home for no money down, okay? But that doesn't mean it's not going to cost you anything. But my point is, no money down. That's like doing a VA loan. Okay?
Absolutely.
I mean, I got programs that us as a lender can give a gift for 2%. Okay, you don't even have to pay it. Listen real careful. If you qualify for it, you get a gift of 2% of the sales price of your home that you're going to buy.
And even if you used your VA benefits in the past, talk to Elliot. You might be able to reuse some of that depending on the programs and things like that.
I got programs that I can give you from anywhere from 3.5% to 5%.
If you're teachers or first responders or
I got programs for that too.
They got programs just for your profession and that kind of thing. And like you said, with the first-time home, they love first-time home buyers because they're the future. They're your future customers. They're going to jump through hoops to keep you locked in. If they're doing it right, that's what they're doing, and that's what Elliot does, and that's why Elliot does what he does.
I got State of New Mexico give you guys money for the down payment. Obviously, not everything that is given is free, but the point is, They're giving it to you to help you be able to accomplish that.
Absolutely.
The feds, listen to this. Even the feds are giving money right now.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, all this.
So it's getting.
All of this is to spur growth. To
Yeah,
spur
just to help.
things. So for you, John and Jane Q Public, your job is to take advantage of it. Use it while it's here. Use that as your opportunity to start your own fortune and path and nest egg for your family. That's what this is about. And 99.9% of the time in America, how to start your nest egg is to have your own home, to have your own place that's yours and no one else's. And if you want to get to that dream, and it doesn't matter if you're first time or this is your 30th house, Elliot and his staff at Loan Depot can help you make sure that he's going to work with you everywhere. This is Loan Depot's the double-edged sword in a good way, where is you've got the local person that can be right here and handle your calls at 2 p.m, or if you got something crazy and you need to talk to a live person,
8 o'clock on Sunday.
Elliot is here. But
I mean that in the evening.
But if you want all of the advantages that come with being a Fortune 500 top country or top and number one, number two, it kind of bounces around in the industry company, then Loan Depot is that. So it's really the best of both worlds. If you want all the big side that allows the discounts and the able to do these things, Loan Depot's got that. But then when you don't have to go through the gauntlet of phone calls or the robot messages or the online how can I help you email thingy or any of that garbage, you just call Elliot, and Elliot's like, what can I do for you? Let me answer that question. No, you don't have to press 137 times to get
I'm
to
trying to multiply myself. You're going to have a bunch of Elliots doing what I do.
Absolutely.
And folks, like I say on my postings all the time, okay, at Loan Depot, you lender of choice, okay? Home means everything.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we really want to deliver that for you. If you really looking for somebody that actually care to take care of you, come and see me.
Absolutely.
I got an awesome staff, okay? And I'm hoping this staff becomes even bigger and bigger as we go.
That's the idea.
Because I cannot do it all by myself.
He gets more people in homes. You need more people to help him do it.
We need more people.
Right. Elliot likes to take a day off every once in a while, and he likes, he has.
Hey, I'm finally going to take a day off this weekend.
He does have interest outside of putting you in a home that he likes to pursue sometimes. So
seriously.
But call him. Leave a message. Stop by. You can reach him direct on his cell at 719-237-4680. Again, that's 719-237-4680. That is his cell. So if you don't get the office, leave a voicemail. He'll get back to you as soon as he's free to do that. You can also call the office number, which is 505-445-2070, 505-445-2070. Again, if you don't get Elliot live, leave a voicemail. He will get back to you as soon as humanly possible. Or you can always come by the office here on, is it 204 West 2nd is the address there, Suite 3. Or if you want to go online, and this is probably if you want to initially go there and read up about Elliot and all he's done, and then you can call and make an appointment to sit down.
They can even
talk.
apply too if they want to.
Good, you can start that process on the website, and then Elliot will get back and follow up with you to kind of finish the details and everything. But if you go, he's got his own website, which is www.loandepot.com. And then add / Elliot Rodriguez, all one word, spell Elliot with one L and a Z at the end for Rodriguez. He goes with the Z. That will take you right to Elliot's personal website for Loan Depot, and you can see his history, see what he's offering, sells, all that stuff. Or you can shoot him an email, Elliot Rodriguez, again, all one word, one L, one Z, at loandepot.com. Shoot him an email, and he'll get back to you as soon as humanly possible, too. So. And, of course, if you're a Facebooker, just type Elliot.
Check it out. And
Elliot
a bunch of
Rodriguez.
stuff in there.
Send him a message or like friendship request, and he'll get back to you pretty quick.
No, and folks, there's a bunch of stuff that I've been posting. Some of the new programs are going on. They're all there, okay? I mean, I'm not saying you qualify for all of them, but if you qualify for any of them, we'll find out which one is the right fit.
If you've been told no recently, there might be some other options on the table that we can change that. So come in.
And that's why I've been posting those, because the fact is a lot of people just think one way when there's so many different, approaches.
The world is a fluidly, rapidly changing thing, and the financial world moves and changes with it. That's how the dollars work. And just because, well, look at your Fannie Mae's and Freddie Macs of the '90s there, and the adjustable
they're
loans.
actually changing a bunch of the rules right now. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, folks. Now you can actually do a 2 to 4 unit at a 5% down.
Wow.
If you are going to be living in one of the units.
Okay.
Before, it was a higher down payment. So
but if they're
Fannie
on
Mae and
premises,
Fannie Mae, they are looking at what's happening in the market.
Good deal.
And they are adjusting it to help you folks out there to actually, do better.
And whatever you do, unless a guy like Elliot tells you it's a good idea, stay away from adjustable rate loans because they are bad business for most
folks,
people.
I always say that's mainly for somebody that really wants it, or somebody that wants to do some kind of investment.
There's a certain small set of clientele that an adjustable rate mortgage works perfect for them. But 9 out of 10 of us, that is a bad idea because at some point it's going to go to a place where you're like, dude, and unless you've already paid off your house, you're not going to be happy about it.
No, but in here we do everything. We do from anywhere from regular, normal mortgages loan. I can even broke it out. I got partners.
Yeah.
So I can pretty much do everything now.
Yeah. Fixed rate, you know what you're paying every month. You don't have to worry about it. It'd be like, well, maybe our bill's going to be cheaper. Maybe it's not. It's not like getting like if you have oil rights or something where you're like, oh, am I going to get a check this month? Your mortgage turns into that. Is it going to be $800 or $1,200 this month? I don't know. It's bad move.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But folks, the future looks brighter. So don't be afraid of investing into take care of you and your family to get you your own home.
Absolutely. Thank you, Elliot. As always, appreciate the visit. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you here next month here.
Same to you, and for everybody out there, be safe, take care of yourselves, and enjoy your Thanksgiving.
And then when you're done with the weekend and realize your house ain't cutting it for Thanksgiving, talk to Elliot on Monday morning. He'll start the process to get you into the house so you can handle it for Christmas.
My wife told me, you're going to bring your laptop with you. Like, yeah.
I'd leave it at home. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Be like, we'll get you on Monday when we come back. So,
thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is 10 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. News in progress. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Killing at least 12 people. There's been no immediate comment from the Israeli military.